At 410 South Post Road in Shelby. Your train dealer. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable, quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Here they come. Green flag is in the air.
Kicks off a monster month of May.
We've got a car in the wall. Oh, Bubba gets turned in the face of the field. Truex gets clobbered. Allmendinger gets clobbered.
At Kansas Speedway.
He was out front when the caution flag flew, and Kyle Busch has scored the win.
It's the Advent Health 400.
Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
The Cherryville Golf and Country Club has new renovations and will be expansion on golf. Having a wedding reception? Cherryville Golf and Country Club banquet room is the place for it. Private parties, birthday parties, and corporate events. Cherryville Golf and Country Club, 200 Club Drive, Cherryville. Call 704-435-6597.
It's time to head to the mountains. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, that is. The new winter rates are now in. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for just $25. Seniors just $22. On weekends, play and ride 18 holes for $35 and seniors just $30. And ladies, your day is Monday. Ladies play and ride on Mondays for only $20 at the Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. 255 Lincoln Academy Road, Kings Mountain at the foot of beautiful Crowder's Mountain. For tee times, call 704-739-7681.
Morning and welcome to a gathering that's never been seen before. The mountain man of the mountaineers, the Burns Bulldog, the Wolfman of the Wolf Pack, and the White Panther. Saturday morning sports talk. I'm sorry, but with Zach, I had nothing else to do. I was like, how do I say the Carolina Panthers in a way that sounds very official? But I mean,
the White Panther.
Kevin,
all right,
Tom, Terry, and Zach.
You know the one thing I need is a mute button for JP.
Can we?
I don't have that. I'm gonna have to have Mike.
Can we cut that out because that's just not going to age well.
As soon as he starts, he just wipe him out. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Big day here at KTC Broadcasting. Got broadcast everywhere. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Number one, the Calvin and Ron on 101.5 FM at CSI Mechanical. Today, 704-600-6267, serving the Shelby, North Carolina metro area since 2010. Train comfort specialist. They're going to be out there today. Free hot dogs and lunch. And I mean, the prizes they're giving away at Tom, I believe, and we'll confirm in a little bit, I think a tankless water heater today, maybe. And a couple of other fun things.
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of things over there. And then, of course, we got movies, Hickory Crawdads tickets, and all kinds of fun things to give out to the folks that come by today. Get you a hot dog over in Shelby today at CSI Mechanical. I was looking for I'm trying to find the address here on my.
It's on Post Road. They've got a new location.
Right.
They just were in a plaza in behind the restaurants and behind Fats, and now they've moved out on Post Road, which is good.
410 Post Road.
Yeah, Stephen Chirk is a friend of mine. Yeah, that's right. 410 South Post Road, Shelby. Like if you're on Post Road and you're coming up from my neighborhood and you're going out towards where Bargain Hunt and then all that stuff is, it'll be there on the right. But like I said, Stephen Chirk, a classmate of mine, graduated with me many years ago, runs that business.
Yeah, long ago.
Yeah. Not as long as you, though.
Terry, don't interrupt. Don't insult or advertise.
But good people.
I'm not interrupting them. Oh,
good.
Never mind.
He's trying to make fun of
good
Tom
people over there. He's trying to make fun of me, but there's always collateral
damage.
Been a
long time there, Terry.
But good luck to Stephen in his new location, and Calvin and the gang will be over there.
Well,
and
Terry,
had lots of fun over there today.
Last night, Danny and I was talking about the how we used to do radio and when we used to do it in black and white. So it happens all the time.
Well, I will say I've had some of my students stumble upon this YouTube. When you first started teaching, you didn't have to worry about kids Googling you, but now kids Google you to see like you got a criminal record or anything. But when they Google me, this comes up, and one of my students says, Who's that guy? That guy, is like, wait a minute, I know it's got to be Terry. he goes all the time. He goes,
it could be JP. It could be JP.
No, he's like, he's kind of funny, but all that stuff he says, you're always arguing with him. I'm like, yep, he's an idiot.
Well, you know it ain't me.
He didn't say old guy, though.
No, he didn't say old.
That was you.
He didn't say old. We can't all be spry like you, Terry. Can't all be spry like you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. We got all kinds of things to talk about today. The baseball playoffs start this week in high school around here, and we'll touch a little bit upon that. We've got NASCAR to get into, a little bit of baseball. We've got NBA playoffs today. Zach gets to talk a little bit about his first round pick, his number one overall backup. Did you see that this week? Andy Dalton is the Red Rocket is the Panther starter. Let's see. So we got NFL, NBA.
Dalton's coming to the Panthers? I missed that.
Dalton's already signed. He's the starter. He's been named the starter yesterday.
Wow.
Bryce Young is a bench warmer already. Wasted the draft pick, right, Zach? Mm-hmm. Will he be the opening day starter?
I ain't going to say yes. I'm going to think it's going to be like half the season.
You
They'll
don't
probably slide him in.
Up from number 9 and don't start him? I'm just wondering.
Dalton was in Dallas last, right?
No, he is in
Chicago.
Chicago,
yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
I was thinking Dallas too.
No, there's a little small break in there between those. All kinds of fun things to talk about today. But yeah, the baseball does end this start this week. Cherville won the conference championship last night. The brackets are supposed to be maybe out today as long as everybody got their weather games in. I guess they did across the state. So we'll see when those come out. I couldn't find any projected brackets, but what I can do is do our own projections real quick and look at the local standings. I mean, that's the best we can do. And so last night we was looking at it. I believe, if I'm correct, Tom, Shelby should be in.
Shelby will be in.
Right.
East Gaston might be on the bubble.
That's
West
the one.
Lincoln's in.
Terry, let me get to your conference in just a second, sir. Just hold your
I'm
horses.
sorry.
Hold your horses. Burns and Cherville, 1A and 2A top seeds representative. Shelby is 12-11 overall. East Gaston 13-9 overall. However, Shelby's got an 8-5 record. East Gaston 6-6. In the 1A, Highland Tech 11-12. Terry, does that get them in the 1A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does, don't it?
Oh,
yeah. And then and then Thomas Jefferson and Bessemer 4-13 and 6-19. And I'm not sure exactly in football. Some of those lower records do get in, but I'm not sure about how baseball is on that as well. So that's y'all's conference, the Southern Piedmont 1A there. Let me go over to Terry. So Terry, the Rebels are in, you say?
Yeah, they projecting them to have to go to West Stanley or West Stokes.
Now they have a losing record right now, 12-13. So if they're in, I guess East Gaston would be in, Highland Tech as well. East Burke 12-9, Bandy 17-9 overall, and Maiden 18-7 overall, 13-1 in the conference. Therefore, in the Catawba Valley 2A baseball standings, did well. Let's see. We'll look over. I forget y'all went 2A, 3A over there. So
yeah, I hope they project us to go to West Stokes. West Stanley's got a pitcher out there. He can throw about 94, 95. Yeah.
You trying to stay away? Well, somebody's got to face it.
Well, let somebody else face it.
Terry will be honest with you at least. It might not make sense sometimes, but we'll go with it. But yeah, Terry, you want to stay away from the ace. Do you throw that guy in the first round against the?
Oh, you have to, do you not? I mean, you can't get to round 2 unless you win game 1.
How good's your number 2 guy though?
Well, that's true, but I'd hate to go start my number 2 guy and lose, and then say, man, I should have started the other guy.
Well, you got a team, Terry. It's a TEAM.
Oh, it's a team, you got to win game 1 to get to game 2.
Looking out in the Western Foothills 3A, St. Stephen's 19-4 overall, 12-2 in the conference is in first place. Hickory in the second, 16-6, 10-4. North Lincoln 13-9, 9-5. East Lincoln 13-9, 8-6. So there's your local area standings. I forgot the Big South 3A, didn't I? Crest Baseball NC. They played Kings Mountain last night on KTC Broadcasting. The Chargers, fell to Kings Mountain twice this week, 6-3 and 5-3, and that gives Kings Mountain second place in that conference. South Point is in first, and I think they went 12-2 overall. Yeah, Kings Mountain and Crest. That's going to give it to Kings Mountain. Crest will get third. North Gaston 8-6. Stuart Kramer 8-6 in the conference, 15-7, 17-7 overall. So there's your baseball updates for our local standings. A couple of quick. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, I just want to touch on softball. West Lincoln played in the conference championship last night in softball, and they got beat 5-1 by West Caldwell. But what a conference this was this year! You had Bandy's, Maiden, West Lincoln, and West Caldwell all battling for it, and the third and fourth place team is the ones that played in the conference championship. In the tournament.
Yeah, and staying on the softball theme, the Burns Lady Bulldogs conference champions. Yep. Congratulations to Coach Wellman and her girls. And really, we just, there's just some really, really good girls play softball. I mean, just really good kids. And a lot of those kids, they don't have a lot of them. I think we only have about 13 players. But they're all real dedicated and done a great job this year. So congratulations. Burns Ladies winning the softball conference championship over Cherryville. I think it was 4-3 game in extra innings.
Yep, a very good Cherryville team from what I hear.
As always, they never ask us our opinion or thoughts on a lot of this, but Athletic Association doing a lot of things this week that will affect us. So one thing is going into seven divisions, but that we like, I think, but then one of the proposals is, or what they're talking about, guys, is having charters play up a level from whatever they're in. And
geez, who's been saying that for years?
Well, a lot of people have been saying it, but I still don't. Their point of view and some of them's point of view, Tom, is that it's going to be unsafe for some of the teams that don't compete. So you'll have, of all the charter schools, what percentage of them are actually competing with the 2A footballs? And how many of those charter schools compete with Shelby or Burns? Can they?
Not in football. Baseball, soccer.
That's not right. This is about This is about football. Is what I'm talking about.
I mean, that would.
Is that going to hurt?
I'll say this: North Carolina's not into punishing charters.
You're not worried about the kids hurting, getting
so
hurt?
I don't think they're going to.
Well, no, I didn't say that.
I don't think they're going to have a policy that hurts charters.
No, we sit here and watch Cherryville and Westman have to play Shelby and Burns, and we're like, this isn't fair. And Highland Tech have to play them, and this is what's going to happen. All these charter schools
Okay.
are now going to be playing Shelby and Burns.
But on the backside of it, when you get to baseball and basketball, then they dominate.
Well, I get that. So that's our thing. It should be separate. Should football just be something totally separate as far as conferences? We've talked about that before, having no conferences or other things. But Terry, you know, you're right in the 1As. It is in those sports. But again, you know, those sports also aren't contact sports.
Yeah. And you do have
I've
to
been in that
understand
game.
football that's the money part. That's a lot of the money.
But
part.
as a football player, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, I go out there and I'm getting hit, I'm getting concussed, I'm getting hurt, I'm you know, doing all this stuff, and there's a couple of guys over here selling hot dogs, making money. There's a guy yelling out of a press box. You never know what's going on.
It always comes down to hot dogs.
Well, it does, and because what Terry's talking about.
Well, it is.
What Terry's talking about with the baseball. So think about it, I'm a football player. So I'm out here doing this. But what Terry just said is right in a sense, in that fact that in the baseball and basketball, they can dominate. But then again, as a football player, I got to look. So I've got to get hurt so the baseball team can be good. I got to get run over by Shelby so the baseball team can
I think
be
it's
good.
going to
You see
come
what I'm
back.
saying?
It's going to come back full circle to what you've been talking about too, Kevin. A baseball, soccer conference, and a football conference. I mean, that's where the state needs to go. That's the common sense thing. I think there'd be consensus on that. Why should you need, you know, basketball, you need 6 guys, you know, baseball, you need about 11 guys, football, you need 30. I mean,
So
everybody knows this. So just have a football conference and then a conference for the non-football sports.
Well, it was because of the non-football ones. You could definitely localize it more.
Right.
The 1A, 2A, 3A, the split conferences don't matter so much in those.
Right.
I don't believe.
Right.
But in the football, and like I said, I've been wanting this for years. Is that why can't we just do football conferences? Or if you don't even want to do the conferences, play who you want to. Schedule who you. Would it not be better for Burns and the ratings or whatever to schedule whoever you want?
In the playoffs.
And then you. So when you do, you wouldn't be forced to play a Highland Tech or.
How do you classify them, Kevin?
What? You already classify them.
I mean, you're gonna stick in there. I mean, if
No,
you're
what do you
gonna, you so basically for football, you're gonna have totally a whole different thing compared to everything else that you do.
You're just in a different conference, Terry. And for football,
that's what I'm saying. Have a separate.
It's just all you're doing is different. All you're saying when I say different conferences is a different schedule.
Well, that's
all
a little
I'm
bit
asking.
more to have to ask out of somebody to have to do every year.
God forbid they have to make
I'm
a new
just telling
schedule.
you.
A new schedule. But they make a schedule for football every year, Terry. Like, all right.
Yeah, and my whole deal is this. I understand because and I don't mean to, let's say Shelby's going to play a charter school. Well, a lot of people from Shelby is going to plan something else that weekend because they're like, well, this will be the weekend if we're going to do something throughout the fall. Let's go do it this weekend because we know Shelby's going over to win. I mean, they're going to win. It's going to be like 50-something to nothing or whatever.
Are those teams going to want to play those guys too?
Yeah, and they're not going to go to the game to pay to get in anyway.
So real quick, we'll just glance at Burns' football schedule last year. Like, honestly, this really wouldn't affect them too much, but a couple of games a year because you're going to want to keep playing most of these teams. But for the most part, they're going to play Crest and Kings Mountain, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to play Shelby?
Yeah.
Would they?
So Watauga.
This would get. They might
Those are
not
all
play
good.
Watauga because instead they might play East Lincoln or North Lincoln. This might open up more possibilities to play local.
Now, whose schedule's this?
This is the. I don't. This is the conference schedule. This is Burns.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're asking. Yeah, this is Burns' schedule.
Okay.
So the conference gives them Highland Tech, Bessemer, Thomas Jefferson, and Cherokee. 4 games they would never play. Would it not be better for everyone, the kids, the fans, and everyone, for those teams to be playing competitive games as opposed to non-competitive games? Like they could schedule Lincoln County or Rutherford County or some of these other. Maiden could come to Burns. How great would that be to have some better football?
Absolutely.
Might sell more hot dogs too.
As opposed,
it would.
Well,
so you're gonna lose some attendance in these other games
for either separate conferences or no conferences. And if people are like, well, what? Let's say if you know conference, your max preps ratings are still based on your 1A, 2A, 3A. It's not what conference you're in. It's 1A, 2A, 3A, right? So then they put the ratings in and do their little fuzzy math. And so playing South Point would be better than playing Cherryville, Fort Burns, or any of these schools, however that works out.
Wonder what the ratio is, though.
What do you mean?
Between all of that and how it could react to how many teams that you could play. I mean, you know, because you got some that's good some years and not good the next.
Good, exactly. That's my point. So, like, let's say Forest View is good, and then like you got a 2-year deal with him. Well, you could re-up that every couple of years, just like the college teams. Like, well, maybe we don't want to play Forest View right now because they're down, and so Burns, instead of playing Forest View, they play Watauga or Chase or one of these other. I think it would open it up way more for play. Let's look at Cherryville's schedule. Okay, so instead of playing Shelby and Burns, they choose to play Chase, and they choose to play Wesleyan. Wesleyan's got really good. They used to be a really good
that's
battle.
a lot of money,
right?
That's a lot of money.
So, but between those 3 games, they could play some of these other schools, especially in the charters that they may have to play in the playoffs. So right now they don't have any of those on it. So Avery County is the closest 1A. So Cherryville, instead of being forced to play the teams like Shelby and Burns, could play more competitive 2A teams. I'm just saying, if we're going to do something, I like the steps of going to 7A, but again, yes, the charters in basketball and baseball, it is tough. How do you do it? My solution to that would have just been make them their own. Why don't they just be their own conference? Like,
We've
1As.
always said that. Yeah.
Would that not fix all this that we just talked about in the last 5 minutes?
The only problem you'd run into would be travel time for them to go play some people. Yeah. Because right here, I mean, you got to think of it. There's 1A teams here, but there's not that many. You know, you're going to have to go to Polk County up that way.
Well, all the 1A teams, Terry, I'm glad you brought that up. You remember Coach said Avery's the closest. So Cherryville, Bessemer, Avery County is the closest 1A schools. So the rest of them that are 1A are already charter. And so they're already doing that. Thomas Jefferson, Highland Tech.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson would probably have to travel the most. Highland Tech can jump in that conference that already with Mountain Island and all those Pine Lake Preps and already where they used to be. So I would rather see them all in the same conference. They're the 1As, and then the current, and then rank everybody else 2 through 7 through that. That would be what I think. But you know, I'm always concerned of being someone who's actually on the field for those games. It's not healthy. It's not good. It's not. I don't think it's right to be out there. I just, you know, it's more of a Tom. I'm trying not to get hurt game.
Yeah, and keeping my players from getting hurt because I got to play competitively next week. Once I'm playing Shelby this week, and I'm going to be playing,
for
Avery.
example, if you weren't forced to play these games, my senior year we went in the season, we had 3 games, Terry, we had a chance to compete in. We knew 7 of them, we had none. And all 7 of those were going to be whippings, and they were. And so that's my concern is that as a football player, why do I practice every day? And you're hitting in practice, you're running, you're doing all this, you're busting your butt. And I know I'm going to get stomped in the ground Friday night. Physically, mentally, everything. And at the end of the night, well, we'll do it again next week. And then we're going to get beat next week.
And then you got your coach determining, hey, this is my starting quarterback that I need him at the end of the year, and I don't need him playing against this squad.
I didn't play defense a couple games.
I mean,
because of that. Well, if I didn't get to start and play defense 2 or 3 games because of that they didn't want me getting hurt on defense so I could run the friggin' offense. And you know, that's where I'd rather play competitive football. Is so fun. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
And people that do it, you know, Shelby and Chase, Shelby and Chase now and the Shelby Burns, the Cleveland County matchups, that's the reason they're fun. If there were blowouts, it wouldn't be no fun. There wouldn't be nobody coming. So
I've always
same thing with Cherryville West Lincoln games used to be always competitive.
Yeah, and I've always gave football players a lot of credit because, I mean, when they first start, guys, I mean, they out in 98-degree weather.
Right.
At the start. And it goes off, you know.
When I go watch,
but now, a lot of people in baseball would say the same thing. Well, okay, I'm out in 30-degree weather, and then it warms up.
Man, I've been up there at Burns at the Jamboree, man, and it is smoking hot out there.
Yeah,
I think you was up there at 1 year, and it was
always hot. Yeah, always hot. So, all right, the last thing I want to bring up in high school athletics is, did you see this new announcement, guys? About name, image, and likeness.
We read that was one of our current events articles, and one of my athletes told me, I'm glad you finally found something I was interested in.
But no, they're only talking. See, this is what gets me. And I don't know whether I've heard this wrong or this is what they're talking. They're talking about the NIL for high school is like $60 to $120 a week. Am I right or wrong?
I do not know the details.
The article I read basically said kids can endorse like a local restaurant. Like Tom Sedefani, starting quarterback, eats at Jan's restaurant. So we got a picture of Tom not in his uniform because you cannot be in your uniform when you do it. But you can endorse the local businesses and things. And you can they could put your face on a T-shirt. And a couple of players like, hey, Mr. C, what about putting my face on a KTC shirt? And all this stuff. And I said, you got to talk to Kevin. It's like, I can't make those deals for you. But starting July 23rd, they could do things like that. The school cannot be involved. And also the policy is laughable. This is not supposed to be a recruiting tool. So it's not supposed to be, hey, Kevin, you live kind of out there in the boonies. You come play for us. There's some businesses around our school. Yeah. We're going to get you some deals with the local businesses. I'm not going to name any names of coaches around here, but I guarantee you there's a few that would do it. And there's no doubt in my mind they would do it, and they're going to get away with it.
My question is, what's the problem with that?
What's that?
What's the problem with that?
I'm just saying, no, Kevin, no. You're misunderstanding my point.
No. I get that
if it's against the rules, you're not supposed to do it, but then people are going to do it anyway. So why make it a rule? So why not just say it can be, just leave it out. Just don't say anything about a recruiting tool. And if people are like, hey, come here, we got business X, Y, Z, they're going to give you $150 a week and put your picture on the menu.
Right.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I know coaches are going to ignore that part of it, so don't put it in there because there's a few teetotalers, that won't do it because it's against the rules, and it's going to give the other people an unfair advantage. So what I just say is look, if it's capitalism, it's capitalism. Yep. I mean, the state of North Carolina's already let this happen with so many other things.
I know. Yeah.
So why are we going to say, well, you can't use it as a recruitment tool when you're just lying, man. You know that coaches are going to do it. Now, I coached for 18 years. I'd like to say that I would follow the rules, but what if I heard somebody else down somewhere else was doing it?
This is my way to get them back.
Right, this is my way to get them back. To get the local businesses on my side. So
and
don't come up with this Mother Teresa stuff like nobody's going to use it as a recruiting tool when you know they are.
And I think somebody, when we was doing our texting, said something about, well, this is great for the big schools. And that might have been
it'd be great. Yeah.
But, you really know. But my whole deal is this. If you're going to do this, then you're going to have, and let me just put it like this. Like, everybody's coming to West Lincoln or Bandy's or Fred T. Ford for wrestling. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to go to East Lincoln, etc., for football. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to go to Shelby. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to go to Mallard Creek, Butler. I mean, you got your choice down there.
Good for the kids.
But is it?
Yes.
In ways it is, in ways it isn't.
Do we need, this happening where all of a sudden I can change a high school for 4 years?
Yes.
Or when Johnny comes late for practice, you're going to say, hey, Johnny, you're sitting the first quarter. Well, if you're going to sit me the first quarter, I'm just going to go down the road.
Yeah.
They got rules.
Can they move easily?
No. Well, no, they wouldn't be able to change in season. Y'all know that.
Is the COVID rules? Is the COVID rules still
right
in?
now? Why wouldn't that come next?
Why
wouldn't that come next?
I know the COVID rules was in. It was easy to move.
Why wouldn't that come next?
You never know, but that'll be a restriction. But no.
So I'm a capitalist, and I say you should be able to make as much money as the market bears. And I've told my kids that for 27 years. When they start saying teachers should be paid as much as professional athletes, I'm like, no, they shouldn't. It's called something called MRP. You're worth what you produce, and I believe in that, and I teach that. But I just think it's going to be a wild, wild west. Kids are going to move around, and maybe Kevin's right.
So is this coming to affect this? It does. If I see it right there, if I see that.
Now, one other little thing I'm going to add.
Is it not a good thing, Terry, that kids would want to come to West Lincoln to wrestle and be coached by in a good program as opposed to a program that's not good?
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And this is all sports, right? So think about let's talk about different sports. So your local sporting goods stores now, right? You're trying to sell all kinds of sports and sporting equipment. So I remember when I was working in Boone, we used to sell lacrosse stuff. I didn't have a clue about lacrosse stuff. I'm working in a sports store selling this stuff. don't have a clue, but we're still selling it. Like if you could put the best lacrosse player on a billboard in your sports store upon it, I mean it's I think it's good for everybody. Now, as far as other sports, what about let's say we talk about I don't know, you got swimming, you got different types of sports that can be different things. The food thing I think is a big thing. Like as a local business, let's say I'm a local restaurant. The easiest thing is to say, hey, you wear my shirt on social media on Monday, take some pictures on it, and I will bring you a Lotta Burger on Monday to school. I'll deliver somebody from my company will deliver a Lotta Burger every Monday, and you wear your shirt and you take your picture. What about a local boutique sponsoring a local cheerleading squad or a dance studio that has a cheerleader? Now she's taking pictures on the internet or whatever with the local dance studio, and then she gets free dance lessons on Wednesday nights. Like there's so many different ways that you could do this, and I think it's good. Everybody's concerned about the football part. I think the smart businesses will figure out the different sports, and especially the poor kids. Like if you're sitting there seeing a kid in a family and he's having trouble eating, and you could do something. Hey, kid, just wear my hardware shirt every Thursday. I'll buy your lunch. I mean, think small things like that. I think people are overlooking. Everybody's worried about the big name guys. Like the Pancake House can sponsor the local offensive lineman and feed them every Wednesday before the games. Like there's just things. It's not just, hey, here's you in a commercial. It's feeding, clothing, shoes, rides to the Cleveland County Fair could sponsor a kid. I don't know. It's just so many opportunities.
I think of a lot of things beyond that. I think of all the things, if you go to stuff like that, and Tom, you know as much as I do, working in a school system, if you start opening it up, that means 1 million people's coming to your door every week to bring stuff in. If there's 90 people on your football team and I'm representing 40 or 50 of them and I'm bringing stuff there, that dwindles down. That dwindles down to jobs
you're right,
that
Ted.
are in the school.
You're right, Ted. There's 20 people. I'm not buying 20 Lotta Burgers a day. So that's what? 20 times 8. So that's $160. It's not worth $160 a day. There's advertised. There's cost to this. Like, so a company has to weigh, is it worth it? It's not just, they're just going to throw money at every kid. Is it worth having this one kid? But some of these kids got more followers on the internet than we do.
They do. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, so
they do.
Like Al Bundy with his 4 touchdowns in one game in the Bundy Burger.
Okay, so
somebody get a burger deal.
For example, like our next door neighbor Javari Green for Crest. Well, why wouldn't I just say, hey, Javari, wear a KTC shirt every Monday. We'll bring you pizza. You don't want to eat your cafeteria food? Like, what's he don't need it, but there might be another kid. Hey, that does. Why don't you sponsor him instead? There's I don't know. There's way more good things to me than bad things. And we're worried about. I don't know. Well, I want to read some of the reactions that people have on the internet, and we'll see.
I just want to interject that I was shown that how on this big abortion bill that went through this week, there is a rider to nuke this and stop it before it starts.
Yeah, I just saw it on
So they just they stuck a rider on that bill.
So rich guys in Raleigh are mad. Poor kids are going to get money playing sports. Think about that. They're going to you guys can't have money. You're too young to get a free piece every Monday.
I mean, and that part of it, I do agree with. I mean, I just don't think that
they take taxpayer money and then don't want to let the kids have money back.
One thing I'll say too is
they're paid with taxes.
One thing I'll say too is there's a lot of kids that have to choose between sports and working.
Yes.
Like if you want your car, like say for instance, you're not super rich, you want your car.
Before Zach says anything else, Zach says anything else like this, Zach could crush a baseball. He didn't play high school sports.
No, I had to work.
You might know him from how good, but he did not play, and that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Zach. Sorry, I'm looking some of these up. What you about to say?
You got like kids that like they're not poor, but if they can get $300, I didn't get to play. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't. I either had to have my car, or I could play baseball. And I said, I'll take the car.
Yeah.
Because I want the girls.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's straight up honest, but if I could have made $150,
yeah, and been able to play, yeah.
But I see your point too. People are going to do whatever's best for them on business, and there might be people that come to those businesses and say, sponsor that kid, and I will pay whatever it costs out of your. I mean, that's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to happen.
And I'm just saying it shouldn't be. I just think you're being a little silly by saying, well, this can't be used as a recruitment tool. I just think it's silly to put that in the like why are you trying to say this is going to be just.
Why is that even a rule?
Why is it even a rule?
It shouldn't be a rule. You're right.
Stupid.
So this says the one guy says, what about the coaches? They've always been able to be in whatever commercial they want, can't they, Tom?
Yeah. I mean,
so what is that guy talking about?
I mean, I seem like I saw a football coach on a billboard that said, "I got my COVID shot, so should you." You know, I mean, it's just one of them things, man.
Kevin, go back down a minute.
I will. Which one?
Well, it says something about an 8-year-old on there.
Yeah, it's something about a soccer
Somebody
player.
was joking. They said,
"Oh, okay."
He goes, "I got an 8-year-old that's looking for some deals."
Because we got a thing up over the hours that says no,
just kick the phone.
No recruits or nothing is being looked at right now. There's no agents here looking at your kids.
Right. It says we'll entertain sponsorships only from top 100 S&P companies. No local mom or pops considered. Yeah, I mean, these are a lot of them's jokes, obviously, and a lot of them comments. Let's see. Here's the pictures of people trying to take it away. You know how that one's going.
Yeah.
Well, this could go wrong so fast, but nobody explains why. Boosters can support high school athletes and cover it through NIL to get them to attend their university. I don't know, university. Yeah, so.
There's already plenty of $100 handshakes going on.
Yeah.
But I just differ on people that and I know Tom, as far as the capitalism things, like, just to me, I think whatever's best for the kids as far as money-wise, school-wise, you should have your choice to do what's best for you. And the kids that are stuck in certain situations, I don't like if we're whining about a football coach's record is what we're whining about. I mean, we got, we're worried about scouting baseball games and other kinds of weird things. So, like, I'm not worried about the coaches, and the coaches that are on here complaining about it. They're saying some very selfish things that aren't. I don't think that some of them aren't really in it for the coach.
People like rules. People like rules that benefit them.
Right.
That's what people like. People say they like rules, but what they need to add is people like rules that benefit them. And if this rule doesn't benefit you, you're against it. If this rule benefits you, you're for it.
Well, there you are. I mean that would be half the kids, though. If I'm not able to do that, how did I benefit or not benefit from that? I didn't get nothing, while these other 20 that's on my team got everything.
That's just what it's
kind of like
be.
That's wrong.
Capitalism part of
me,
it too, though.
That's wrong.
So you're thinking every kid should get a check if one kid gets a check?
Exactly.
That's participation trophy.
I'm sorry.
That's a participation trophy.
Well, we got Karl Marx over here. What are you talking about?
I don't care. I mean, that's just me. We're talking high school sports.
I think like just say for Burns is it?
All right, Terry, if I'm playing quarterback, I want to make as much as the athletic director does tonight. Or the guy said,
I go out there every day just like you at the start of the season, and I participate just like you. I go through every drills just like you. I go through anything that we do on this football team just like you.
But if you suck, you don't get paid as much. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry.
Okay, this is my deal then.
No.
If it says $60 to $120 a week, then at least I know I'm making 60.
No, look, when I played Little League, remember the rules about like one at bat? Those are put in for kids like me, okay?
No, there's a difference, Tom.
No,
there's
those are put in for kids like me when I played. So it's just like if I was still playing today, why would you want to pay the kid? I mean, you get to be on the team, you get the uniform. You're not very good.
You're going to get your picture
You're not going to
taken.
get any money. We're real sorry. But, you got the starting quarterback who's throwing for 3,000
so
yards.
He gets 120.
So he's going to get money,
and
you're not going to get anything.
I get 60.
And you're going to have to
He's
get over
making
it.
more than
I mean, that's just what it is, Terry. I mean, if you're not very good
in the
then you're
NFL, if you on the bench, you don't get paid as much as that starting quarterback. It's the same all over America.
I'm just telling you, I don't believe in this. Everybody gets a little something. No.
If you're in the NFL and you're the worst guy in the NFL, are you getting paid?
Not as much as Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, you're getting paid.
But you had to make the team, Terry. That's different. You got guys just walking onto the team.
These guys made the team.
Okay. Terry, at West Lincoln, how many teams actually have cuts anymore?
Well, probably none. Now,
okay,
Tom.
there you go.
There you
that's
go.
what I'm saying.
And
how'd you make the team? You showed
okay. Well,
you showed
in
up
a
with your
way,
physical form.
that's the greatest thing that could happen, Tom, because you got people like
they might come out.
Like if it was Zach, and I'm for Zach all the time, but it's people like that who all of a sudden can say, you know what, I can go down here no matter what. I'm going to get something.
If you make the team. Now that would be different. That's a different scenario. Like you tried out and you made the team. That's different.
No, this is where your athletes that are in the school, instead of them having to have a job, maybe they can get by with what this is. And then all of a sudden your team becomes stronger because Zach can play now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you're not really a star player and you're not really going to help anybody.
It's not even that, Terry. It's not about star players. So, Zach, where was you working?
Harris Teeter.
So, all Harris Teeter had to do was say, while he was playing baseball, we're paying him.
Yeah.
Like he's here
on
at work.
these days,
like he's here at work. That's all it is. That's as simple as that, is that while Zach is playing baseball or wearing his shirt on Mondays, his Harris Teeter shirt on Mondays, and while he plays games, we're writing him down on the payroll as being at work and making those hours. That's what I see it as. And you're seeing it as, well, this guy's better than this guy or this guy. Not necessarily. It's if I'm already working at a small business, that allows them to sponsor me and so like I said, Zach's already worked. I know Harris Teeter's not a small business.
It was, back then it was smaller.
Well, let's say you're working at Dayberry Paints up here, and we close at 5. Zach's playing baseball 7 to whatever. So now I'm paying him for the 6 hours, and not one of the other kids. I'm paying Zach. And it doesn't affect anybody else in that baseball team. But it just allows me to use him in a commercial.
But am I not telling you that would help the whole school system?
Well, yeah, that's what they're doing.
The whole team.
Well, I can't afford to pay the whole team, Kerry. I can only afford to pay Zach. I can't just charge taxpayers more money. I'm a business.
I can't charge tax money for Johnny to sit on the bench.
Right.
I mean,
I do believe.
And look, I was Johnny. Okay,
it's not even that. Do you see what I'm saying, Tom?
I understand it.
Let's say
I understand
Zach's a bench player. Even if he's a bench player, I can still pay him as a part-time worker for not being here as representing my business.
Right.
And that's what you can put down. He works 7 to 10. He's wearing a KTC shirt.
Yeah.
That he worked for my business tonight. So that allows that. So he doesn't have to actually be there to make that money that he would have been there if he missed his time.
You're saying. Yeah, it's
he's basically getting paid double time for time he's not there.
I do think that, like, let's say, for instance, Burns, for example, those local restaurants could do like meal deal. Like, this is I'll just say the K1 Pryor meal. People would buy that.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, hey, man, why don't you go get my burger? So it would be good. I mean, I'm just saying. And they could change it up for each year for the best, whoever they wanted to do it for.
Get your Ben Mooney burger today across the street at the restaurant.
Ben Mooney burger's got a little ring to it.
That's why
you get your Tom Cinnabody kicking chicken for the kicker.
Right? What was the old boy's name at West Lincoln?
Mac George.
Get you a Mac George bologna sandwich.
I mean, gosh, you know what they could do in West Lincoln with some of their stuff? I mean, man, it would be,
It slaps you like a Mac truck. Get you a bologna sandwich at the game tonight.
That bologna sandwich sounds good.
It would definitely be a hype.
Right.
But the kids would like it. I mean, I think it'd be a fun thing. I think it'd be a fun thing for the kids, but
it's going to be interesting, but we'll see where it goes. All right, we've talked a little bit too long on that. All right, sorry, folks. We got all kinds of things to talk about today. We got to get NASCAR in Kansas. Kyle Busch, what did he do last week? He do well?
No.
Good? No. He ain't said nothing about Kyle Busch all morning, Tom. He didn't do well.
What?
Good, because I didn't feel like hearing about him.
You get tired of hearing about winners.
I just get tired of hearing you.
You get tired of hearing about winners.
NBA playoffs next.
Thank you,
KTC Broadcasting.
Now open the all-new Scooters Coffee in Cherryville, opening in their brand-new store on Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right in front of Walmart. You'll find all your espresso favorites, including their signature drink, the Chamomile-licious, along with brewed coffee, tea, hot chocolate, and even lemonade, plus espresso blends and smoothies, and breakfast food and sweet treats too. The new Scooters Coffee on Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right in front of Walmart. Open 5:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Just in Time Plumbing, a leading residential and commercial company, has served Cleveland and Gaston counties for 9 years and has won Cleveland County's Best for several years. Their 24-hour emergency service can handle all your plumbing emergencies: clogged drains, sewer inspections with cameras, septic tanks, jetter services, and more. Just in Time Plumbing, on time, on budget, 24/7. Call 704-600-8350 or go to justintimeplumbing.net. Just in Time Plumbing, every time. 107 South City Street, Kings Mountain.
Live music is back at Patriots Park. The city of Kings Mountain welcomes Gabriel Sanchez and the Prince Experience. Live at Patriots Park Saturday, May 6th. Since 2002, Gabriel Sanchez has portrayed Prince in the country's most dynamic Prince tribute band. Playing all the greatest hits from the Purple One himself, the Prince Experience has been packing dance floors for over 10 big years. Cleveland County's own Ace Party Band will open the show at 6 p.m., followed by the Prince Experience at 8 p.m. Look for DJ Eric Bowman, too. And don't forget the cruise-in beginning at 5 o'clock. All makes and models are welcome, so come to Patriots Park at 220 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain on May 6th for great food, inflatables for the kids, and a great concert. Best of all, the concert and cruise-in are free. For more information, contact City of Kings Mountain Special Events Department at 704-730-2101 or visit the website at kingsmountainevents.com or their Facebook page at City of KM Special Events.
Head out on vacation in your new-to-you vehicle from Eric Johnson's Auto Sales in Cherryville. Take a look at a 2014 Honda Pilot XL with navigation and leather interior for $14,500, or a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee with four-wheel drive and priced at $17,500, and a 2012 Toyota Highlander with front-wheel drive and priced at $12,400. Financing available at Eric Johnson Auto Sales, 3629 Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville. Online at ericjohnsonautosales.com. The best prices on furniture are found at Kurt's Premium Outlet in Eastridge Mall, Gastonia. This week, a chest of drawers just $2.99, dressers $2.99. Looking to downsize? A small two-seat dinette set is $2.99. Kurt's Premium Outlet has nightstands for $163. Twin, full, or queen-size mattresses are $199, and lift chairs start at $5.99. See the selection today at Kurt's Premium Outlet in Eastridge Mall on North New Oak Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook, too. The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're talking a little bit more sports.
Yep, and we just want to remind our listeners that, JP, we appreciate you bringing in McDonald's breakfast this morning. I had a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin, so thank you to our local McDonald's here in Cherryville for providing our breakfast. Go check them out. They got breakfast. I think McDonald's has breakfast all day now, don't they? Do that? They do the breakfast all day.
I think it's available. Or they did at one time.
Which loves that?
And sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
That's what I had, sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Yeah. So Terry got me on the McMuffins now.
We got the McMuffin boys in here. JP, what'd you have, sir?
I had sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Oh, my
All right.
goodness.
He's done switched to.
Y'all boys got y'all.
Oh, y'all know. Y'all know. You just follow the leader. I'll lead you.
And just remember, Calvin and the gang will be out at CSI Mechanical today. And congratulations to my buddy Steven Churka for his new location on South Post Road. If you're familiar with Shelby, you know where South Post Road is. He's right up there, not too far away from our friends at S&R Auto Sales, and up there at our other friends at Carolina Auto Glass, some of our other sponsors. So we appreciate that. But he's remote. What we got? Hot dogs, hickory crawdads, tickets, all kinds of goodies at Calvin is given away, and my daughter Anna will be up there today. So go get a hot dog.
Dang, the smartest one of the group.
Well, she is. She is. Her father's an idiot educator. She's going to be an engineer. She makes fun of me all the time. Of course, she is an entrepreneur as well. So, and
wait, she couldn't have been an engineer without your guidance, Tom.
I'm not taking it because she's
Don't
a good
tell him all that.
Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Like, people don't understand that. I mean, I'm starting to think the older I get, you either have the drive inside or you don't. And if you don't, it seems like that's who we waste our time on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's try to find some extrinsic motivation for you. And I'm like, nah. Some people just aren't meant for greatness, are they, Terry? Some people just aren't very special. Maybe if we told people that would give them the motivation. Sorry, you're not special. Oh, we're not going to try to motivate you. Motivate yourself. I guess I wouldn't be a very good motivational speaker, would I?
No, you're doing a terrible job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody out there just downgrading themselves. Like, what?
Everybody just took the exit off the ramp.
Yeah. Sorry to be
I
that
need
way.
to pull over now,
Sorry
guys.
to be that way. Older I get,
They're rethinking their life right now.
Anybody who's listening to the show is expecting for Tom to make them down at some point during the show.
Probably, yeah. I get the most complaints. That's what I'm told. Mr. Cinephonical.
You get the most written complaints. I get the most verbal complaints about Terry. Nobody wants to write it down. I get the who's the guy?
From West Lincoln.
Who's the guy? And I was like, Tom says, it's always the answer is probably
It's
Terry.
not that. It's the only guy in here telling you the truth.
Whoever's talking about whoever picked the Cowboys to win it this year. That's that guy. That's the one that know what he's talking about. All right, well, real quick, over Major League Baseball today. And I just want to announce that I was right. Cardinals are terrible. Yadier was gone.
They're horrible. No, you're not. You're not terrible.
Terry, they're the worst team in the National League.
Okay, but in the American League, we got two, and we just
got two under 10 wins in the American.
We just got through getting thrashed by the last place team last night.
Oakland?
Yeah. They beat us to death.
Yeah, Cleveland's kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit, too. They've lost like 4 or 5 in a row, 3 in a row. They're just not very good.
The last 10, they're not played well.
Couple of pitchers down. They got a couple starting pitchers down.
Well, Terry, you're a 2-game winning streak from passing or catching us and passing.
Well,
so it's not that far away.
We could have opened our league up to a 3-game lead over them, and heck no, buddy. We let them get within
2 and 15. 2 and 15 at home.
Ooh.
At home. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what our coach said. Grinke goes to
Terry's
the mound.
a Royals fan for the folks.
Yeah, I am. Grinke goes to the mound. Now, he's like used to be Cy Young, But he goes to the mound, and after the game, he has to come out and says, well, I guess I need to pitch a whole lot better. I haven't been pitching that great here lately. Well, the first 2 games he pitched this year, he got beat 2-0, 3-0. I mean,
give me some runs.
But, but then the last 2, he kind of got boom, boom. But I guess after you're not been scored on, I mean, your team hasn't scored any. You just finally give up. But he's 1-4 on the year. He won the other night 6-0.
You think somebody will pick him up for?
No, well, he'll be somebody that we bid away.
Yeah. Look at the last place New York Yankees.
I seen that. And Boston ain't doing much better.
No,
everybody, those above.
Well, they are, yeah.
There you go. Everybody in that league is
couple
above
games
500.
Right. If you're going to the playoffs from the other divisions, you better win it.
Braves are in a division very similar to that, where all the teams are good on our side too.
And I hear so much about Boston. I got so many Boston Red Sox fans over at West Lincoln. It's unreal. And everybody's, oh yeah, man, look at us. We are rolling. Until they have been 8-2, and you're still 7.5 games out.
7.5 games out of first place. That's
I'm glad to see Baltimore up there with as hard as they are.
Yankees are 10 games out of first. Terry, y'all are just as good as they are. Y'all are only 11 games out of first, right?
Yeah.
There's
We're still in it.
There's a chance.
As far as qualifying for the playoffs, Rangers in first in the West, tied with the Angels. Babe Ruth Ohtani has got them in first place. Terry. They're going to win.
Well, you know how that works. Until you hit 50. When you hit 50 games into the season, that's when Angels start tailwinding.
Yep.
Well, Rangers are in first. Astros in third. They're all over 500. In the Central, the Twins are the only team over 500. They're 5 games over, 19-14. The Cleveland Guardians are 14-18. And like I said, everybody in the East is over 500. Over in the National League, on the Cardinals, this week they played the Anaheim Angels, and they got swept by them. That's all you need to know about them, Tom. They got split by the Anaheim Angels. And this was the first time, interesting note, in the history of Angels and Cardinals baseball that Albert Pujols was not in the starting lineup. They had never played before Albert Pujols had been on the team.
I was surprised at that.
And then
how long now?
Do what?
What was that again?
The Angels and Cardinals had never played a game before without Albert Pujols in the starting lineup.
They have lost 7 in a row and 10 out of 11.
Well, Tom, they're 10-23. A lot of losing streaks in there. In fact, they've lost 11 straight. Get this. Series openers.
How long do you go before you get rid of the coach?
2 weeks ago.
Should have been done.
2 weeks ago.
Should have.
I mean, the Twitter sphere is just
1-9.
About him. They're tired of him, and it's time to go.
You can't tell me the Cardinals can't get a big name coach.
Well, tell me this: how can you be like this, and y'all keep him? He's 10-23. You've probably never seen that in a long time.
It hasn't happened. I think it was like 1950 something.
Yeah, I ain't seen that. I ain't never seen that.
But y'all keep him. But Milwaukee turns around, Bucks, and fire their coach.
We'll get on that one in the NBA, but there's 3 coaches that's been fired. It was NBA champs the last 3 years.
Makes no sense, y'all.
He shouldn't have his job. It's way too. The problem is it's one of those. I think it's one of those general manager ties.
Buddies.
So they're gonna have to fire the general manager and the coach. But it's just bad. Like it's just. And I want to say I do. Great as Yachty is, the point of it all is in this. And I swear that does this not represent this? Is that you talk about this WAR all this time, you replace Yachty with somebody who's got a better WAR at hitting, whatever that is, and then now they're 10-23. Why is our ERA rate now 5, Terry? I wonder why. Maybe the best catcher of the generation is not behind home plate. When Johnny Bench was gone, who was after Johnny Bench? Tom, do you know?
Not off the top of my head.
Do you, Terry?
No.
Any of y'all know? I don't.
No.
So, there's a drop off, and you drop off in leadership. That's what one of the guys was saying. He said in St. Louis, the coach when Yachty's there, the coach, even when Yachty wasn't catching, the coach was asking him. The coach is not this coach, the last Matheny, and all of them. Schilt would go through Yachty as far as what to do with the pitchers during the games. Like he's sitting over on the bench. He's basically the pitching coach during the games when he wasn't playing. He sits 30 games a year, or if he's injured. So it is a big thing. So they've been bad. When your coach jumps down a guy, we showed the guy the non-hustle play. The guy didn't think he was going to throw it basically and slowed up a second. And then you send down your rookie who gets 12 straight hits because he can't catch a fly ball yet. But, what does that do with the team when a guy gets 12 hits and you get 12 straight games and you send him down? I don't know.
Joe Nolan.
Especially when you got DH, man.
Joe Nolan replaced Johnny Bench.
Well, I talked before the season. Yeah, there you think so. I do before the season.
Congratulations.
We've got 4 or 5 good outfielders and hitters, but no, it's just bad. So, all right, Braves in first in the East over the Mets. Mets 1 game over 500. They're 5 games out. Pittsburgh in first in the Central. The most surprising thing in baseball. Cardinals and Pittsburgh just basically flipped for the most part. But I'm glad to see the Pirates doing well. As far as all the teams in the division, that's the only team I don't dislike. The rest of them can jump off the bridge. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres out west over 500. Favorites in the National League, Terry?
Favorites? You still got to have Atlanta and the Dodgers.
No Pirates yet?
No.
No belief in the Pirates yet?
No. They'll be just like the Angels.
Tommy, any belief in the Pirates?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it's still early. I've everybody's lost track of them. I mean, really, when have people kept up with the Pirates since the Killer Bees, Bonds and Bonilla? I mean, really, it's been a long time.
Andy Van Slyke.
Yeah. I mean, it's been since the early 90s. How
about this, Tom? They've lost 5 straight, and they're 20-13.
Yeah, see, but if they've
lost 5 straight, and they're still in first place.
But that's a warning sign. And the other way I keep up with the Pirates is one of my dad's friends from childhood is a Pirates fan. And he's always complaining about the umpires on there. So I always know when Pittsburgh loses because it comes up in my feed. But it's just they've not been relevant in so long. It's just people. I mean, no disrespect, but it's kind of like Kansas City. I mean, it's just kind of like they fall off the map. You don't know anybody who plays for them or what they're doing because they're not going to be talked about
The
on
last-
Sports Center unless
Last
they're
guy I
playing the
remember was
Yankees.
McCutcheon that I could
Yeah.
name you.
He's back.
Is he? He's there.
They brought him back and they started winning.
They got the best. I still think they got the best jerseys and jersey colors, and I like everything. Their ballpark's cool.
What's that?
Pirates.
Oh yeah.
They probably super popular in that area though.
Well, that area of the country is just their teams mean so much
Blue
to their
collar
town.
people.
Yeah, I mean this is
they don't have to shop but for two colors.
Yep.
In that side.
Black and yellow.
Yeah, I know it's the same
I'm a
thing.
Penguins fan. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a Pirates fan. All I need is a black and
and
yellow
gold.
shirt.
Yeah,
Folks.
black and gold. Yeah,
That don't happen.
When the Browns, I will say this: the Browns one time had a brown shirt, brown pants. I said they look like they're fighting UPS men. So, I mean, it's like so. Yeah, I guess maybe there's some advantages just going two colors on everything.
All right, this is for the folks listening on the radio. Every Saturday, you can also watch the show on YouTube, and I like to pull up some fun things to look at. This is a map of the longest and shortest fences in Major League Baseball at every part of the fence. So, cool little graphic here. These folks on the Twitter sphere gave out. We're going to go across it. You want to go shortest or longest, Zach? First.
Do I want to do it?
No, I'm going to do it.
Okay, because I can't see that.
You want the shortest or longest?
Shortest.
Shortest fence down the left field line is Fenway, all the way into the left field, center field gap up to 378. That would be Wrigley.
That's a shot, though.
But that's the monsters out there.
So the monster is the total short from and then from that part in Wrigley at 378, it goes back to Fenway, all the way across center field into the right center field deep corner, right on the other side of second base. So Fenway pretty much is the shortest park from on the inside of second base all the way to the fence, except for about 5 feet of fencing for Wrigley Field. Then the deep right center field spot, it says there's several of these that are at 390 is the shortest, so they didn't even list all the teams. 355 is the shortest in the right field side of baseball, in the right center field gap. That's the Yankee Stadium. AT&T Park, is that Giants, Terry?
That's San Francisco, I believe, yeah.
San Francisco is the shortest all the way down the right field except the pole. So everything but the pole, the Giants have the shortest porch in baseball at 310. The pole in Fenway is the shortest at 302. So Fenway's still playing in a little league park. But Fenway goes straight back. They do have the deepest part of right center field at 380. The deepest down the corner is Wrigley at 353 in right field. The next deepest is Coors. Doesn't give me a number on that one. Then 380 at Fenway. Coors is again in the right field gap. And the deepest part in right field, center field in baseball is AT&T Park, 421 in the deep right center field corner in San Francisco. And then Coors is center field at 415, down to 398 in left field. And then Camden Yards takes up all of left field at 384. Then Wrigley is back down at 355 in the corner. So there's your baseball graphic, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting there how Fenway is both on the shortest and the longest line. As is, I want to
Wrigley.
say,
Wrigley is no. Wrigley is
Fenway.
You're right. Yeah. Wrigley's on the shortest.
Wrigley is on the shortest and the
AT&T.
longest as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just like
three of the parks.
It's an odd outfield wall.
Fenway, Wrigley, and the Giants. So this Red Sox, the Cubs, and the Giants all have parts of their wall are the shortest in baseball and the longest in baseball.
If you're a right-handed pull hitter, you got a pretty good shot. If you're a left-handed pull hitter, you better hit it far.
I mean, that's a pretty good shot, 355 to get it out of Wrigley down the left field line. Of course, those guys, if they pull the ball, it's going a long way, But
I think they should have put an asterisk on the monster and estimated how far you have to hit it to get it over it.
Yeah,
because
I mean, you still have
it's got to be 350 to get it over, right?
Yeah,
I mean, how tall is it? Is it 35 feet? 40
I'm not
feet?
sure.
I'm not.
Let's
sure
say it's 30 feet. Add it to the end of it, so it's got to go 340 to get over.
I think about this too.
Shorter than that,
With that wall being there, if you're an outfielder and you're just coming to Boston to play outfield, you got to adjust about how that ball is going to come off that wall a lot of times.
Well, they stuck Manny out there because he couldn't do anything but catch it off the wall.
Well, right.
He could catch ground balls
but I mean, you think about
backboard shots off the wall. Yeah. All right. Here's an interesting stat for you. When he retired, Jamie Moyer had faced 8.9% of all hitters in the history of Major League Baseball. Jamie Moyer has faced 9% of all hitters in Major League Baseball history. That's pretty cool. I think that's all my fun baseball stats. Terry, you got any other fun news notes, thoughts this week?
I've already lost interest in baseball.
Oh, I did have two more. I did have two more fun. I did have a couple more fun.
It does seem like I think the fans are liking the pitch clock and things. I don't think the players are really liking it because they, some of them like to do their little routines and things that. But it's shortened the games by about 20 minutes. And you know what? And you know what that's affected, Kevin? Hot dog sales and beer sales.
Yeah. Well, they had to extend the beer sales now. They used to end them after the 7th. Now they're ending them after the 8th.
Which is fine.
Because they were running out of beer time.
I mean, it's fine. You adjust. Life is about adjustment.
This is Modern Woodman Ballpark in Davenport, Iowa, surrounded by the Mississippi River this past week in floods, home of the Kansas City Royals High A Quad City River Bandits, Terry. And whoever engineered this bad boy should get a bonus.
He should. I agree.
It's sitting in the middle of the river, basically.
It's awesome.
And all the grass is just pretty and green, and the dirt. They hadn't had to do anything. There's a Ferris wheel.
It's just really amazing.
Look at that.
I'll tell you what's funny, though. 6 months ago, they were talking about the Mississippi River drying up.
Right.
And it was so low, and they could see these ships that were sunk like in the 1800s, and now it's flooding. Now it's like in capacity. It's been crazy out there.
Folks have never heard of rain season and watched Lion King.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of it lately.
I've never watched The Lion King, Kevin.
Terry, oh, my gosh, Tom. Terry, did y'all see all them home runs in Monterey last weekend? Like I told you it would be?
Likely. Did not do it, buddy.
I did not watch, and I have not heard. So.
What, the first game was less than the 12.
Well, the next one wasn't.
I know, but the first game was less than 12.
25 runs the next game.
How many? 25.
The home runs that they were doing based on.
I remember we talked about the over under
on how if they would have been out in other parks and stuff like that.
You'd have went 50-50 on your betting last week.
That's what they want.
Vegas got what they wanted.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tom, here's I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna save it now before I forget it. I got a history one for you, Tom. What? There's a person alive right now that was born to President. That is, his grandfather was John Tyler.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy. 1790 was John Tyler.
John Tyler had, I want to say, like 15 kids, but his first wife died, and then he got married to a young woman. And then John Tyler had a kid when he was maybe 70 years old. And then one of his kids had a kid when he was like 70 years old.
So pushed it out.
So John Tyler's one of those, fairly disgraceful presidents. He's the only president, former president. He served in the Confederate Congress. So that's kind of like, so you're the American president and you served in the Confederate Congress. So that kind of puts him at a low point with a lot of historians. But yes, because he had children so late in his life, and then he had a child late in his
life. All right, back to baseball. Since the White Sox last winning streak of 2 games, Bryce Harper had Tommy John surgery, did a full recovery and rehab, and returned to the lineup.
That's horrible.
Who's that?
Bryce Harper.
Oh, yeah?
Bryce Harper had Tommy John surgery, complete recovery ever since the Oakland A's started last won a game. Wow. So Harper got hurt and come back and healed from Tommy John before the A's starter last won a game, and the White Sox had a 2-game winning streak.
How does a position player need Tommy John? That's weird.
Just be careful. Oakland.
Usually it's pitchers, is it not?
They'll sweep us. Current Major League players whose names contain at least half of the alphabet. We're going to let Terry try to read these. Terry, you want to try to read these?
What, Tucker Davison?
Keep going.
Paul Goldsmith?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony? Yeah, Anthony. Christian?
2 Anthonys on that list.
I knew when he got to
There you go.
Tom, you want to pronounce number 3?
Number 3, I think it would be Anthony D. Sclafani. It looks like my name.
That's why I asked you to pronounce it.
Sclafani.
That's an Italian name.
What if that was an Italian
D.
name?
Sclafani.
It's got to be close to Italian, isn't it?
That's Italian.
Okay.
Yes.
What if the other guy's like a German
How does
name?
a name close to Italian?
Yeah,
is that a thing?
Latin.
Okay.
Latin, does that qualify as
No,
it's a
there's
Latin base. It's a Latin language, based Latin language. It could have been Spanish with the ending in an I, but it would have been a weird.
Is that Meisowitz?
Meisowitz, Christian Vasquez, Julian Merriweather, Clayton Kershaw, Adley Rutschman, and Patrick Sandoval all contain at least 13 letters in the alphabet, but the number one player with the most letters in the alphabet is Sir Anthony Dominguez. Terry, did you know that?
Well, you know what?
Y'all gonna talk about that at the water
what do you
cooler
have
this
to
week?
do like Sir Anthony? I mean, come on, buddy.
Is that how you gotta pronounce
Nobody's hollering Sir Anthony, going, Anthony, come here.
Sir Anthony. All right, and here's a fun one before we go to break. How about this one? Every team in Major League Baseball has at least one player on their team with the letters in it to be able to spell Astro. You got what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So every team has at least one player on their team that you can use their names in their letters in their names to spell the word Astro, except one team, and it's the Houston Astros. We'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. The best late model vehicles at the best possible price are waiting for you now at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. Right now, a 2016 Ford Explorer XLT with only 67,000 miles, priced at just $22,995. A 2014 Mercedes-Benz GLK 350, 81,000 miles, priced at $19,995. And a 2007 Dodge Ram 1500 Thunder Road Edition, just $11,999. That's Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com, and like them on Facebook, too.
Divinity Urban of Kings Mountain High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Divinity is a senior at Kings Mountain and is the daughter of Larry and Diana Irvin. She's a distance runner in the cross-country team and runs indoor track. Divinity has a 4.4688 grade point average with advanced courses of band, chemistry, English, and science. She's a member of the Kings Mountain Marching Band and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Divinity is a member of the Long Shoals Wesleyan Church and serves as a preschool teacher. She also is a volunteer to the Soup Kitchen, tutors at West Elementary, and is a volunteer for Murphy's Toy Run. After graduation, Divinity plans to attend Southern Western University and major in elementary education. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship. Head out on vacation in your new-to-you vehicle from Eric Johnson's Auto Sales in Cherryville. Take a look at a 2014 Honda Pilot XL with navigation and leather interior for $14,500, or a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee with four-wheel drive and priced at $17,500, and a 2012 Toyota Highlander with front-wheel drive and priced at $12,400. Financing available at Eric Johnson Auto Sales, 3629 Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville. Online at ericjohnsonautosales.com.
It's Ram Truck Month at Barburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Ram Truck Month is the time to get exclusive deals. Now get $1,825 bonus cash on Ram's most popular new 2022 Ram 1500 Classic models. Or get $2,000 bonus cash on new 2022 Ram 2500 and 3500 models. Go big. Ram Truck Month is on now at Barburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
And we're back with Kevin and the gang. They're talking a little bit more sports. And always, we remind our listeners about Shelby Heating Air.
No, JP, no, he won't.
Oh, he won't?
You've been talked to.
Okay, sorry.
Just want to remind our listeners that Calvin and the gang are out with hot dogs and Hickory Crawdads tickets and other prizes. CSI Mechanical having that remote today. It starts at 10 a.m. Kevin, is that when it starts? 10 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
10 a.m. CSI Mechanical on Post Road in Shelby near the S&R Auto Sales and the Bojangles and up in that area by Carolina Auto Glass. Go out and see our friends. Get yourself a hot dog. Get yourself some lunch. You don't have to buy lunch today, Terry. You're all about saving money. You like putting that $5 in your pocket, don't you?
Every week.
So the Carolina Panthers this week, NFL draft, they take Bryce Young overall, and then they announced yesterday that Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback, Zach. So you traded up to number 1, and you're not even going to start him and play him. Now the funniest thing was, and I didn't mention last week did you see him? Did you see him when he went into the locker room? And what did you see? What the first thing he said about his locker?
You sent it to me.
He said, "It's really spacious."
Did y'all see him? Who was he? There's a picture of him standing in front of somebody.
5'10", 204. My this NFL locker is spacious.
There was a picture of him standing in front of somebody. He
invited his family members who were in there to stand in the locker with him to show how much space he had in his locker. Terry, how's that gonna work out for him?
And you saying C.J. Stroud failed the cognitive test? That would have been a common sense test.
Is that
right
why he's
there.
not starting now, Zach? Wait a minute. Did he just come here and say this thing's spacious?
Here's something I want to talk about. Y'all might not want to talk about.
Real quick, though. Alabama's locker rooms are nicer than the Carolina Panthers.
I'm sure they are.
I've been in them. I've been in the Panthers. I've seen Alabama's. Alabama's are nicer than the Panthers.
What about the improvements? There's going to be no new stadium in Charlotte. They want to improve the existing $1.2 billion. And they want to put taxpayers in Charlotte on the hook for...
Did you say 1.2 billion?
B with a B.
Jerry World was 1 billion. What improvements do you make to an already working building for 1.2 billion?
I'm pretty sure it's 1.2 billion.
Dollar.
It probably is. It probably is now.
I'm just saying, like, what improvement? Because remember last time that Jerry Richardson stole money from the city, he said they were putting escalators in. Well, we did the math on it. That would mean he was about 270 escalators. There's not a single escalator in that stadium.
Yeah.
He said we need $250 million to put in escalators.
And they
didn't put in any.
I'm pretty sure
he went in his pocket. You know what happened, Tom? The statue of Jerry went up the next week.
The taxpayers would be on the hook for half of it. Of course, the mayor comes out. Lyles comes out and says, "Oh yeah, this would be great because 1 in 9 Charlotteans works in the hospitality industry and blah blah blah."
What's that got to do with?
It's just funny how people wonder why billionaires are billionaires. Okay, billionaires are billionaires because they get welfare. Okay,
they don't spend their money.
They don't spend their money.
I mean, when you can go down to South Carolina and build a practice facility and have it tear it down,
and it's just kind of funny how people's positions change. It's kind of like, well, if one particular party tends to be against corporate welfare, but I'm for it now that it benefits me. But in all other circumstances, I'm not for it. It's
all
so
a circus.
It is.
And we're the clowns.
So you guys have Bryce Young now. He fits well into his locker room now, Zach. So that's what's good for you guys. So
say it fits well in the locker room or the locker?
The locker.
Okay.
Yes, he fits well in his locker. So for all the linemen who are worried about hazing him, I guess But anyway, what do you think about them naming Dalton starter, not the starter now, and him not? And the fact, so to me, there's a difference between we're bad, we got the number 1 pick, we're going to take what's best available, as opposed to we're bad, we're trading up to the number 1 pick because this dude's going to be the face of our franchise, and then we're going to sit him behind the Red Rocket. So your thoughts on that?
To that point, we were not a bad team. You know what I'm saying? We were like mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Traded a lot of draft capital to get to Bryce Young. I think we made some of that up in the wide receiver that we picked up in the second round. So not upset about that. We'll see how he does. I do think it's good. I think they might start Andy for first couple games, and if it goes south, then they'll throw in Bryce Young just like every other team does in the NFL. I mean, that's what I think they'll do. We have I think Andy can manage the game, and I'm pretty sure they think Bryce can manage the game too. So do they throw him in right off the bat, or they let him get a little bit of reps, learn the offense a little bit more? What would you do?
I don't know. You tell me. Like I mean, it's
you got it. If I use the number one pick, you got to start him.
Yeah, well,
you got to start him. But
trading, that was
what
I was saying as far as my argument goes. If you're just sitting there and you end up with him, and you don't have to start him, but they would. To me, Terry, I don't know. Like,
well,
how do you draft up to one and not know who you're going to pick, and then you sign a guy as insurance, and then you say he's the starter? Go ahead, Terry.
Well, we sat here last week and went over them going to have winning record.
Right.
Does Andy Dalton change all that?
I don't think either quarterback you put in changes the who they, because I think everything's based off their defense and that running game that they should be able to have this year.
Let me ask you this.
Let me ask you schedule y'all have.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, that too.
Are the Panthers going to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Then play the kid. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I mean, play the kid. I mean, if you're like when Love went to the Packers, but you still had Rodgers. Okay, we're not playing this kid. We still got Aaron Rodgers, even though he's unhappy and he finally left. But Andy Dalton, is Andy Dalton getting you to a Super Bowl in 2023? No, he's not. Play the kid. I mean, I just don't understand why you're going to draft up to number 1 overall and say, well, you're going to sit the bench for 2 years. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see if this guy's a 3rd round pick or if he's even a 2nd round pick. I do not understand it as, like you guys said, the number 1 overall pick, which you traded up to get your guy.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much pressure is going to be from fans to play this kid?
These
people are buying tickets. They don't want to see Andy
They put
Dalton.
a lot of pressure.
That set up Andy Dalton to get booed.
They put a lot of pressure on the whole situation.
You're going to have less ticket sales. If you name him the starter right now, your ticket sales would double.
They set the pressure on themselves by naming Andy the starter.
They've already upset some of the fan base by hiring Reich, because it was polarizing to hire Reich. And now you're going to tell this, this exciting young football player. I mean, he may stink. He may stink, but I think you still have to play him. You have to play him.
And I think they pretty much said, it's a quarterback competition. We're putting Andy in as a starter. He's the veteran, and Bryce got to win the job. That's what they've done.
I would go with the opposite. This ain't high school, man. This ain't high school.
Andy knows that.
We ain't writing you a check and tell you to earn your spot. We're writing you a check because you're playing. I mean, what is this little league earn your spot crap at the professional level? And I mean, it's just stupid. This is like, what are they going to run? They're going to run penalty laps? Are there penalty laps at Panthers practice?
I highly doubt
Come
that.
on now. Come on now. This is pro.
Do they even
man.
practice?
Come on. It's stupid.
So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. I mean, it's just like, we're going to, we're going to make you stay after practice if you're, if you mouth the coach, yeah, you do that in high school. It's character development. You're not going to do that at professional level. If I'm the head coach of the Panthers, we drafted this guy. He's playing. He's gonna, we're not gonna say earn a spot. You're playing. If you stink, we're gonna bench you, but you're playing. I mean, I don't understand anything else. It's kind of dumb.
Well, Terry, how's the Cowboys?
I was just debating Tom on how long he's been talking, but anyway,
it's a talk show, Terry. It's a talk show, Terry.
Cowboys. I think Cowboys got everything they needed. I mean, everybody knew our defense is going to be strong anyway. The guy we took from Michigan, I think, solidifies our run defense a little bit. The tight end we took from Michigan, which, we was a whole lot better than going to Ohio State trying to hunt somebody. So we went to Michigan and hunted somebody. But I think he'll be good. We wanted last week to move up one spot because the tight end we wanted from Utah, we never got him. And I thought Dallas maybe should have moved up. Man, we could have gave away a 5th-round draft choice or something for one spot up from where we was picking from. But we did not do that, so we lost him. So I don't know. When I look at who all we got totally, like from 1 through, I think we got 7 guys. But I think they'll all fill in.
Of course she's going to say that.
Well, yeah, we're Super Bowl champions. I'm coming out.
Yeah, it's been Super Bowl champions every year since '95.
Did you see Darius Slay, Hawaii pick number 0, I think, with the Eagles? He said, because that's how many times the Cowboys have made the NFC Championship since he's been alive, Terry. The shots have been fired from Philadelphia.
Who is he?
He's a Philadelphia Eagle.
I mean, who is he? Last time we played them, we beat them.
What's Terry?
Last time you played them, you beat them, but did you go to the Super Bowl?
Did they win the Super Bowl?
Did they go?
Did they win the Super Bowl?
Did they go?
That'd be like Carolina Panthers.
No, they didn't win. Did they go?
Did they win?
I said no. Now I'm asking you, did the Cowboys go? Did the Cowboys
might as well
go?
Stayed at home and been on the couch.
Did the Cowboys go?
You should have been on the couch.
When's the last time the Cowboys appeared?
Oh, that's
in a
right.
Super Bowl
Y'all never touched the Super Bowl.
But I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying that, but your argument is Super Bowl every year, and they haven't been to the Super Bowl since Kevin. Am I right? 1996 was the calendar year.
Well, that was
the
95-96 season.
96. So
how many Super Bowls we got? Okay,
it was 95 some. 92, 93 was the back to back. 94 was San Francisco. 95 Cowboys. 96.
96 the Packers won.
And the kick returner was the MVP, and then they outlawed kick returner because they could have to give the award to Favre. It's my conspiracy theory of the day. But anyway, all right. Tom, any other Browns? How they doing right now?
No, it seems they drafted some Ohio State players, which would be interesting in the later rounds. They got a couple of offensive linemen, so their fan base is pumped up about that. You know, they got the defensive lineman from the Texans in free agency. They got the wide receivers, Moore from the Jets. You know, they drafted a big wide receiver from Tennessee. But, you know, it's all, you know, everybody, they're going to do all this, and they fixed all their problems, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Who's going to get hurt? Who's going to get arrested? Who's going to get into a fight with the coach? You know, I mean, it's just like, you ain't fixed nothing.
Cooper still with them?
Cooper's still with them. See, they're probably going to get rid of Schwartz and Bill. Couple of third round picks are hit or miss. So they drafted a couple guys in their third round, and they drafted this kid from Tennessee in the third round. They like him because he's got size. So they're basically saying that, you know, Cooper's not real big. You know, what, he's about 6 foot. So they wanted a big wide receiver. But if he's really great, why isn't he a first round choice? Why is he a third round choice? You know, so I mean, it's like one of those things. Like, if he was really great, he'd be a first round. So if this guy's like fix some of your problems, he's this and this and this. Same thing as they said about Schwartz. He's a burner. He can run. I think last year he caught 6 passes for like 200 yards. So I mean, it's just
potential.
You don't know until the ball is snapped, and that's what I've always said. You're not going to know. You don't know if your problems are fixed until the ball is snapped. So they've done their due diligence to try to bring some guys in. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, that's like Dallas. We brought in the running back from Kansas State to fill Zeke's place, but people don't be scared if Zeke's not back on Dallas's team because we're going to get him for almost nothing because nobody else is picking him up.
Running backs don't have the value they once did.
No.
They don't. I mean, I could see a league where, I mean, they almost become, I wouldn't say completely irrelevant, but people just don't run the ball like they used to. And plus, everybody's got 2. You know, so,
it's almost like the NBA where the way they play is just changed.
The big man's not as important.
Well, everybody know. Here's what it's. You're right into a point, and that's one thing that drives me crazy about it though is that it's teams adjusting to Steph ball, NFL style. We're trying to be Peyton Manning, but we don't got Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
We're trying to run Tom Brady's offense. Tom Brady, the GOAT's not standing over here. We're running it with Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Like the people they're all trying to do the same they're copycatting.
Yeah.
So they don't, you know, that's the easiest way to save your job. A GM coach do what someone else who's doing successful is, and like, well, it just didn't work here. You know, the blame shifts somewhere else. Go ahead, Terry.
Well, what I was going to say is that we talk about all this, running back don't mean nothing, but when you get into the season, everybody always says, whoa, if we got a running game, then we're going to go far. Why? Because it keeps that other offense sitting over there on the side. They're not on the field. Yeah, and you're wasting all the time in the game.
Jacobs was the leading rusher last year with 1,600 yards. Derrick Henry, 15. Nick Chubb, 1,500 yards. Saquon Barkley, 13. Miles Sanders now with the Carolina Panthers. 1,200 yards last year rushing. Zach Dalvin Cook, 11. Justin Fields, 1,100. Christian McCaffrey, Etienne, and Aaron Jones, all with 1,100. 13, 14, 15, 16 players with 1,000 yards last year in the NFL. I think Everybody says it don't mean nothing, but it seems like it does when half the team's got 1,000-yard rushers.
Well,
I don't say
the more games you play, I mean, you got to figure what is that,
too.
60 yards a game?
60.
If the good ones,
That's what Emmett used to average.
Well, to average 1,000 in a season at 16 was 65. Now it's obviously less. So it's
Cowboys are rumored to sign Kareem Hunt. So Denver Broncos, some other teams, but I think it's a similar situation with Elliott.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to go get paid somewhere else. Well,
it's not happening. That's right.
It just doesn't happen.
All right. Let's see. I don't really have anything. NFL. Oh, yeah. I do got one fun little NFL stat. This is wins by more than one score since 2021. So in the last 2 years, how many times did you win by more than one score? Buffalo, 18 wins by more than one score. San Francisco second with 15. Kansas City, Dallas, and Philadelphia at 14. Dead last with only 2 wins over one score in the last 2 seasons, the Giants and Falcons.
And look at Pittsburgh just right above them.
Jets at 3, and Pittsburgh, Texans, and Minnesota with 4. Chicago, Washington, and Vegas at 5 wins over one score in the last
2021.
Still doesn't seem right saying the Las Vegas Raiders.
No. Wait till you have to say Las Vegas Athletics.
No, that's good.
Yeah, that's coming too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Instead of
The
LA,
LAAs.
calling everybody the LV. LV Raiders, baby.
Yeah, LV, not LA.
Well, they're trying to run that team into the ground so they can move it. I mean, it's just been awful in Oakland for a long time. But I can't remember when I was a kid.
They beat us.
All right, artificial intelligence ChatGPT was interviewed this week by someone by Barstool ACC, and they asked it to rank the ACC athletics, overall athletics, 1 to 14. And the artificial intelligence, Tom, came out with the Tar Heels as number 1 in the ACC as best
the
athletics.
dumbest thing I've ever
Florida
seen.
State's number 2. Clemson's number 3.
Who did this?
Duke
It was the artificial
University
intelligence.
is number
Artificial
4.
intelligence.
Virginia number 5. And coming in dead last time, you want to read that at 14?
That would be North Carolina State University.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
The State University at Raleigh, North Carolina. Is dead
Well, there
last.
you go. Up at
The
the
Wolf
top,
Pack.
it says it. The Barstool ACC. The Barstool.
No,
they're sitting at a bar.
ChatGPT, Terry, is artificial intelligence software program that scours the internet for all the information and answers your questions. So they ask them who to rank the ACC athletics.
Let me
overall
put it like
athletics,
this.
And NC State
Let me
coming
just
dead
put it like this.
last.
When
at
we
a
look at
14.
that, last time we played in basketball, we beat Carolina. Last time we played in football, we beat Carolina. I mean, I can just start naming. Last time we did wrestling, we beat Carolina. I mean, we just start naming all this besides the sports that they play that we don't have, like lacrosse and stuff like that.
Y'all don't have lacrosse?
No.
I bet you do.
I mean, my God.
NC State has a lacrosse team, Terry.
I'm just saying.
Almighty Terry.
I mean, my God. What is lacrosse, Tom?
It's a sport people play that don't happen to be from.
Well, we don't care whether we win that or
this
not.
part of North Carolina. There are some people that play lacrosse.
You talk yuppies, Tom?
Yuppies do play.
Yuppies
Yuppies need a
it's a
sport too.
it's a yuppie sport.
Yuppies aren't athletic enough to compete in football, so they play lacrosse.
Well, that right there is like a.
Oh, I had to pull that one up. I just flip it there. I was like, gonna have to put that one on the show. NC State dead last.
You got a water polo team, Terry?
Oh,
a
I
water
said
polo
you're a
team?
bar
I bet
stool.
you do
You're
and don't know
sitting
about
at the
it.
bar.
Water polo. I bet y'all got that.
It's
No,
crazy.
seriously, what was the last sport at NC State to win a national championship? Do you remember? Terry?
It just happened. Oh Lordy.
Super fan Terry Roundheart.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Put him
it
on the
just
spot.
happened. It's not. That
Sound
far
like
back.
me and UNC Charlotte. Y'all won a tournament. We did.
All right,
So I don't want to hear nothing else out of you.
NC State spring sports are baseball, golf, softball, tennis, track and field.
We're terrible in softball.
In the winter, you have basketball, gymnastics, rifling, swimming and diving, wrestling, cross country, football, men's soccer, volleyball, and women's soccer. So no lacrosse.
What did I tell you, Tom?
At NC State
They don't have
University.
So there you go.
Sorry.
He
Sorry
acts
to
like I'm the
misinform
dumbest
our
person in the world.
How do you not have a lacrosse team?
I mean, my God.
Duke's got one. I mean, we all know Duke
Carolina's
has
got
lacrosse.
lacrosse. I know.
Carolina's got lacrosse.
Duke and Carolina got lacrosse. I guess
That's why they're
you got
bottom feeders, because they don't have
you've got
lacrosse.
30,000 kids at NC State and no lacrosse team.
Just ask me if you need facts. Don't ask Tom.
Well, you didn't know.
There's your NC
I
State.
knew we didn't have
You
lacrosse.
didn't know.
I always listen to y'all because
You
y'all
didn't
always said he's
know.
wrong. He's wrong. Wrong answer.
Well, I thought they had more than 12 sports at NC State, to be honest, Terry. They've only got, when you count men's and women's, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You know
10,
what's funny
11,
about
12, 14 sports at NC State.
Pull up our baseball because I know
Pull
we
what
lost. ain't sure whether we lost to the Fighting Irish. I mean, yeah, Notre Dame last night or not, or did we beat them? Can't pull it. What's our record up at the top?
Good grief. 30-15.
Okay, we beat them. All right, so we're 30-15 on the year, and
We
we're
won 5-1 yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. And our overall record is like 9-13, but they're still projecting us to be in the tournament on account of the teams that we have played are like we're ranked like number 24.
NC State does have club lacrosse.
Well, Terry, when you're dead last in
God.
athletics, everybody you play is going to make your team look better, right? Ain't that how that
That's about it.
that ratings work? 9-13 in the conference, 23-7 at home. Y'all playing some duds, huh?
We beat some teams.
Who'd you beat? Did you sweep Cleveland Community College, Terry?
Beat East Carolina. East Carolina ranked like 14th or 15th.
beat the Yetis and Rhinos.
I'm going to tell you what, though, if anybody has ever watched that game, and it wasn't that game that he did it, but speaking of Lane Hoover, he ended up making the ESPN's top 7. I mean, 10 thing is number 6 or 7 he made it, but what a catch. And they said that when you was over there and I spoke to his dad, Denny Hoover, he said he was calling and you could hear him calling it, and he was nowhere near the ball, and the left fielder just stopped so he could go get it. And what a catch.
I mean, I will say I really like playing shortstop. Because you're involved in the game. Catchers, it's really fun to play. You're involved in every pitch. Center field is the most fun to make plays
now he
on.
was the guy. That's where he was playing, center field.
It's fun to chase down fly balls and make plays. And then you don't have that much responsibility during the game in center field other than just taking off. Yeah.
Bam. He said when he hit it, said that guy just started stopping because he was already hollering for it. Bam.
So Lane Hoover with the Rob home run against
Big Rob. That was a blast. I mean, it was
former.
It wasn't like it was just barely going over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he played for Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sure did.
Yeah, missed the memo on that one, Tommy.
I'm sorry.
You were asking ChatGPT to rank the Ohio State lacrosse team.
No, I was looking up NC State lacrosse. I was wondering.
He was making sure somehow we had some club lacrosse team.
That's my fault. I guarantee when I have those moments, Kevin, I am looking up something related to the sports.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. We've got NBA playoffs, NASCAR, and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Live music is back at Patriots Park. The city of Kings Mountain welcomes Gabriel Sanchez and the Prince Experience. Live at Patriots Park Saturday, May 6th. Since 2002, Gabriel Sanchez has portrayed Prince in the country's most dynamic Prince tribute band. Playing all the greatest hits from the Purple One himself, the Prince Experience has been packing dance floors for over 10 big years. Cleveland County's own Ace Party Band will open the show at 6 p.m., followed by the Prince Experience at 8 p.m. Look for DJ Eric Bowman, too. And don't forget the cruise-in beginning at 5 o'clock. All makes and models are welcome, so come to Patriots Park at 220 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain on May 6th for great food, inflatables for the kids, and a great concert. Best of all, the concert and cruise-in are free. For more information, contact City of Kings Mountain Special Events Department at 704-730-2101 or visit the website at kingsmountainevents.com or their Facebook page at City of KM Special Events. A gas leak can be a killer. Just a small pinhole in a gas line put together with a small spark and the unthinkable can happen. Now you can get a whole home gas line inspection by calling Today's Pro in Shelby. They'll be more than happy to come out and detect any gas leak that could lead to a disaster for your home. And with summer around the corner, see Today's Pro in Shelby for your pool supplies. And yes, they do pool water tests. And they can fill your propane tanks. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Call 704-600-8393. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook too. Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop, a local family-owned business for 25 years, is located at 2027 Shelby Road in Kings Mountain. Sism & Son offers auto and truck body repair and painting, motorcycle refinishing, and dent removal. They're known for their quality of work, their experienced staff, and their dedication to their customers. In their own words, we work for our customers, not for the insurance companies. We have your best interest in mind. Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop, they're there when you need them.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com.
Grizzly the Greeter says, mention this radio ad and take $200 off any building on the lot at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes in Cherryville. Again, mention this radio ad upon arrival and take $200 off. And check out the great deals on carports too. There's always a deal waiting for you at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes. Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. There's no better time to buy your new Volkswagen than right now at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia. Check out the great offers available this month. Get 3.9% APR financing up to 60 months on the Volkswagen Atlas SE and Atlas Cross Sport. Get 4.9% APR financing for up to 60 months on the Volkswagen Arteon, Atlas SEL, Teos, and the Tiguan. Come in for all the details and drive away in your new Volkswagen today. From Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard. Online at classicvwgastonia.com.
And we're back on Shelby on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang.
All right, JP, you could,
Y'all are on.
do what? I know you could elaborate or
okay.
talk for a second
He
while
did okay.
we're not talking, other than just sit
Yeah,
there in
sorry.
silence.
You did okay,
You get paid to do
JP.
something in there, sir.
Well, normally I do, but I mean,
I just want to
Talk
remind
about
our
that
friend.
good biscuit you're eating in there.
Let me
Warm
remind-
biscuit.
no, actually, I already ate the biscuit.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk about how good it was.
Yeah, well, let me remind our listeners that Calvin and the gang are up at CSI Mechanical today, their new location on South Post Road in Shelby, right up there near the S&R Auto Sales and the Carolina Auto Glass, getting up towards where the Nissan and the Bargain Hunt is in that area of Shelby as you're going towards Dixon Boulevard. Stephen Churka, the owner up there, best of luck to you in your new location. So go out and see Stephen. Go out and see Anna. She'll be out there handing out hot dogs. Calvin always has free food and prizes. CSI Mechanical, South Post Road, today.
NBA playoffs going on right now. Boston takes a 2-1 lead last night. Phoenix wins at home and makes
Embiid
it
had 30.
2-1 Denver.
Yeah, right.
And
set him on the bench.
Embiid had 30 and they got
Set
beat.
him on the bench.
But I tell
New
you
York
what,
and Miami both tied at 1-1.
Horford's
and
playing
Golden
good,
State
Terry.
and
Horford's playing good.
The Lakers tied at 1-1. They'll play today at 3:30 and 8:30.
What is that on ABC?
ABC today.
I just want to remind our listeners.
Us regular poor folks can watch television.
I just want to remind our listeners that I was correct on predicting the Warriors win, even though I hate the Warriors. I told you, Kevin, all the experience they had in the Game 7. I told you they would win that game.
I knew they
Terry,
would
reach
win.
over there and grab that rose in the corner and pin it on his nose.
You want me to turn his mic off?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I'll get some written complaints on that one.
No, there you go. So Golden State and LA's tied 1-1. New York, Miami 1-1. We'll talk about last night's game real quick. First of all, this late night, the 10:30 start is that's stupid. Like What am I supposed to do?
I watched 3/4 of that, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. As I'm sitting here, because I got up and finished watching the end of it because it was still back on this morning, so I watched the end of it today. Yeah, I mean they replay. You know how they do it. But here's your problem, and this is what I said about Philadelphia. When your elite player, and I'm calling Booker an elite player for the Suns, when you have to shoot 80% and you barely win, you're not going to win this series. Booker was 20 out of 25 last night. Mm-hmm. If he has to shoot that every game, forget it.
Yeah,
the same thing with
score.
Embiid. Embiid had to do that in this regular season, and he knew then, if I have to go 80%, that we're not going to beat. But now here's the problem with the Philadelphia thing, and we'll get back to this game. But with the Philadelphia thing, they need to play without Embiid. They are like 14-5 when he does not play. So maybe you need to take him out, put him on the bench, and play without him.
So does Joker
the MVP?
Is Joker the real MVP then, Terry?
You know, well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good draw. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm
I
proud
think
of
they're both
Embiid.
really good.
Yeah, I give
said
Embiid a lot.
bench him, and then I asked you to be the MVP, and I don't know.
Well,
I think they're both really
he
good.
plays well, man. You talk about. I'm glad he got it because I mean he took it like that's a.
He was a stud this year. 33 points a game.
The only problem I have with him is, and we spoke of this last week, he does hit the floor quite often.
LeBron hit the floor the other day, and nobody went around him 10 feet.
Casper the Ghost knocked LeBron.
Did you see that?
Yes, Casper knocked him
Kevin Durant has to be better than 12 out of 31.
Well,
He's got to be better.
Warriors Lakers 1-1, right?
Terry,
yes.
Yeah.
Terry, he had 39 points.
I could care less.
Well, the other
He's
guy
12 and 31.
Well, the other
he
guy
missed.
Terry, the other guy
thing
hit the
as
4
Trey-
shots he missed.
Lord.
Is that okay
See, this
for
is
you?
where we don't get along in basketball because I mentioned of Trey Young last week.
How did he do from the free throw line, Terry?
Trey Young was 14 out of 33. He missed 19.
From the free throw line, Terry?
Kevin Durant,
Free throw
12
line.
out of 31. He missed 19 shots.
How'd he do
Quit shooting.
How do you do from the free throw line?
Quit
Look,
shooting.
there's only 2 players on the Suns who even shot free throws.
That's right. And one of them only shot 2.
And
that's a home game, Tom. So they only called fouls on the only 2 guys that really shot.
that happened in the Lakers
They are
Golden State first game.
so
Lakers had like
So
40
what's his name?
and
What's
Golden
his name?
State
Hurt?
had 5.
Chris Paul's hurt.
Yes, Chris Paul's
Yes.
hurt.
He's out.
Shocker.
So this team is not
They're in trouble.
deep at all.
No, if
Terry's
you look
right
at
about
the
scoring is that they have to get 70 from those 2 combined.
Yeah,
you look at
you
that box
have to.
score, they're dependent on that's it. Ayton, you're not going to count
No,
on
you
Ayton.
have nobody else on that
He's the
team
number
to
one.
stand
Y'all,
up.
he's the number 1 overall pick.
And he was standing in the
4 points on 6 shots. What are you doing?
you need to show him that video where he was that last week or was that me and you the other day where he's just
showed you the
standing
other
in the
day.
background.
I'll pull it up.
I mean, it's awful.
Well, I mean,
he
you
needs
look
to be
at that.
fired.
What was that? 16, 17 shots out of the rest of the starting 5?
They don't have anybody.
There's your problem.
So
I'm surprised T.J.
And
Warren
Booker's
don't get a
gotta
little bit
shoot
more time
80%.
because Warren's a
gonna
pretty
have
good
to-
ball
They're going
player.
to have to add some shooters and some defense in the offseason because you got to have some type of depth.
They might be in trouble.
Well,
And I picked them to go all the way.
I thought one of you picked Denver.
I did.
didn't you?
No, I picked Phoenix.
And I don't think anybody
Tom
picked
picked
Denver.
Denver.
Did he?
In
Tom
this
was a smart
series,
one.
Okay, well,
He
then
picked-
he's did a bright thing here because I don't see how Phoenix can beat them.
I don't think they can come out of this.
I'm not sure without, they've just got to outscore them. They're playing Golden State ball. At least Golden State plays a smidgen
more
of
defense.
but not much more. But they're playing Golden State ball right now.
And they've already ruled Paul out for the rest of the series.
Yeah, he's done.
Well, good.
Wow.
So this
He
is
strained his
DeAndre.
growing.
Yeah, this is DeAndre Ayton. The other night, Terry.
This is awful.
Now this is a 7-foot man,
Number 1 draft pick.
number 1 overall draft pick. And you know what he calls himself? The dominator. He's the domination. He calls himself the He's like I'm the
abomination.
Call Ayton is his last. I'm
He's
the
awful.
dominating something. Something like that. But anyway, watch this effort that he gives on this rebounding, Tom, and defense. With
He's
on
already
Jokic.
out of position.
He don't even get back in it. Look.
Tip.
Oh, well, let me get back.
Layup. Tip.
Thank goodness Durant was there.
Look, the camera guy had to move to get around him to get a better picture because he had a better shot than the camera guy did.
Well, he was out of position back there.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Kevin Durant's down there battling with 400-pound Jokic down there because the center won't do anything. Look at him. He's terrible. He should be cut. He should be kicked out. JP's in there laughing at him. JP laughed at you, DeAndre Ayton. Just cut yourself and go home. He had 4 more points than JP did last night, Tom.
And I'm the one that's got people driving off the bridge.
He had 4 more points than JP did last night. And the defense, I know you folks on radio can't hear. This is the worst effort you've ever seen on defense.
Oh, you said Kevin Durant, you got him.
Kevin Durant was playing hard. Chris Paul was playing hard. Chris Paul's at least throwing elbows in there. Look, he punched him.
He's preserving himself for the rest of the game.
That's probably what caused Chris Paul to pull his rolling.
Watch Chris Paul. 1 elbow, 2 elbows, and watch you punch him in the stomach here. Boom. Chris Paul can't help himself. He's already tackled 2 guys in the series, and now he's hurt. But Terry, have you seen? Would you not be mad if your 7-foot center was over here doing this while the other center's just tapping it around?
I would be mad at him. I mean, I would if that was my center.
What are you doing?
Kevin Durant has no business trying to box out.
I mean, if you're going to do
Jokic.
anything, get in there and foul him.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what
he's
I'm
not
saying?
doing anything.
But see, they come up with the ball. Nothing happened. He never put it in.
It was all under play. It's playing, wasn't it?
How many rebounds did Jokic get off that? Like 4?
He ended up with like 17 rebounds.
I'm talking about on that play.
That one 3, I think.
Yeah.
He missed 1, tipped 2, then got it back and scored. So yeah. No, he didn't score. So 2 or 3. Last night, Jokic, 17 points, 30 points,
triple-double,
17 rebounds, 17 assists.
What was the shooting?
The number 1 overall pick guarding him had 4 points, 9 rebounds, and 0 assists. So fire the GM in Phoenix altogether. What was Jokic shot? He had 30 points on 19 shots, 7 and 8 from the free throw line. Terry, I watched the first quarter. And I did see when I come back through town. I watched a little bit of it, and just from a basketball perspective, watching Ayton on that is a very good example of how he was. But I was watching him last night. So when Jokic didn't have the ball, Ayton didn't put a finger on him until he got inside the 3-point line. When he would have the ball, Ayton had the audacity to at least walk out to the 3-point line and pretend like he's guarding him.
Well, you got to respect that he'll shoot it from out there.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is that I watched the first quarter alone and saw 0 effort from DeAndre Ayton. So if I'm on the basketball court and other team's center's pick is beating us, and you pick him up at half court, your center, whoever's guarding him, puts a hand on him at half court, put a hand in his chest to make him move. Centers, big men hate moving left, right, and have it. You make him move every bit of energy. They never did that. He jogged to the 3-point line, and then Denver gives him the ball and they run their offense. That is terrible defense.
Who's his backup? See, there's your question. Maybe Ayton has to pace himself so he can play the whole game.
I guess.
I mean, there you go. I mean, I don't know.
But there's no
That's
pace
what I'm saying.
himself. Well, he can play as many minutes as Jokic. Jokic played 42. Ayton played 26.
Okay, so now who
Fat
come
Boy
in
played
and
16 more minutes than the guy who's supposed to be in shape. But again, Terry, do you not try to aggravate the big man at half court? And I saw the first quarter, Jokic beat him on a fast break down the court.
Yeah, I can
got a
see
wide
that.
open layup. And I'm like, and I sit there and I said, you know what? Of all the things that should happen, like, and I've been in practice. The Carolina philosophy is, big man, if you can't let the other one beat you down the court.
Yeah.
If you watch Tyler Hansbrough, Antoine Jameson, Baycock, you have to beat it. And every big man is taught that, is it not? Yeah. Outrun the other big man up and down the court. Our team will get more possession. We'll be in better position to win. And to have Jokic beat you down the court, whether or not he hits a jumper, runs the offense, boxes you out, that's something else. But you can't let him beat you down the court. Not that.
Just the games that I've watched them play, I thought, hey man, you know what? Denver's way better than y'all, and that's even with Durant over there. And I just think it's a shame because when I see a guy has to shoot 80% for you to win a game, it's the same thing like Embiid. I don't think you can win the series. There's no way that can happen every night.
No. But they've got to get 70. That's the number.
Yeah, those
Booker
two.
and Durant, if they don't get 70 together,
They don't have shot.
I don't think that they do. Tyronn Lue won a title in 2016 and was fired. Is that you? That's the Cavaliers, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
Nick Nurse won in 2019, fired in 2023. Frank Vogel won in 2020, fired in 2022. Budenhauser won the title 2 years ago, and he was just fired. And don't forget the year, was it 2 years ago, where Toronto's Dwayne Casey was the MVP, was named the coach of the year, then fired.
Yeah.
After the season, immediately after the season was over.
Yeah. This is crazy.
That's awful.
So as a Hornets fan who's hired Steve Clifford twice, we've had bigger staffs as our coaches too, Tom. Why? What's the point?
This right here.
Why? You won a championship.
This right here bothers me because when Mike was fired, Giannis didn't play in some of the games in that first round.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me when my MVP category type player does not play. I mean, I don't have a guy like him on the bench.
You won the regular season.
Yeah, I was number 1 seed.
He got fired.
And my number 1 player is not playing, and I'm going to get fired because.
I mean, how many times did the Seattle Supersonics go like 60-something and 20, and they didn't fire their
today's
coach?
GM would have fired Phil
would have
fired Phil Jackson in '94 after Jordan retired.
Right.
Like, you can't do it, coach. You just can't do it.
I mean, he'll get picked up. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I do not understand
Why should the
that.
Hornets not fire Clifford and hire him right now?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
First thing, the Charlotte Hornets should be on the phone right now. Steve Clifford's not a long-time thing. Whatever reason that was, they're selling the team. So, all right, we got a couple of little quick fun things to end the. Let's do our quick picks on this. Remember, we don't have to do our picks, but Denver. Tom had Denver. The rest of us had Phoenix, L.A. and Golden State. Tom had L.A. The rest of us had Golden State. Philadelphia and Miami. I don't think we've picked this series yet. I think remember that was before the series ended. Philadelphia, Miami, Boston, New York. Who's New York playing?
New York's playing.
Oh, never mind. I'm reading this wrong.
It's a different. Yeah.
Tom's the only one that picked Philadelphia, the only one that picked Denver, and the only one that picked the Lakers. So how do you feel about
He's
that,
going to
Tom?
lose 2 out of 3.
Zach is the only one to pick the Knicks in that series, and everybody else went 3 across the board.
Well, Jimmy Butler's health is the wild card. I mean, if Butler is healthy, Miami will win that series. But the last thing I saw on that was he's quote unquote trending in the right direction, whatever that means. Does that mean you're getting better? I guess, but just say you're getting better. Yeah. He's getting better, or he's trending in the right direction. I'm like, okay.
How many top athletes have not played this year? A lot.
All right, so we got a few minutes to do a couple quick
anyway.
Do a couple quick rankings, and then we'll come back to finish up with NASCAR. We got to do a couple quick basketball things. Zach wanted us to talk about the top 10 all time, and everybody's arguing about that this week, and we'll mention that in a second.
Top 10.
This is Draymond Green. Zach, did you hear this comment?
No.
Called himself the greatest defensive player of all time.
He's done that before.
And this is Shannon Sharp making fun of him. Let's Zach.
Shannon, does Draymond have a case?
Yeah, and he should be thrown in jail. For saying that out loud. Draymond Green is not a top 20 defender.
Kawhi Leonard is a great basketball player.
We got some back sound from somewhere else. But Let me shut up that one. There we go. Sorry. Stephen A is in the background.
And
Shannon, does Draymond have a case?
Yeah, and he should be thrown in jail. They should have put a case on his butt for saying that out loud. Skip, Draymond Green is not a top 20 defender.
All time.
Yeah. Skip, and the guys that I got in front of Draymond, I didn't put Mr. Russell, Bill Russell. I didn't put Havlicek. I didn't put Clyde Frazier because I didn't see them play.
You didn't put Bill Russell?
I didn't put it because I didn't see him play.
You got to just do it on reputation, on legend.
Skip,
go ahead.
Is he better than Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Dwight Howard, Dikembe Mutombo, Tim Duncan, and Ben Wallace?
No.
Okay, let's go forwards. Dennis Rodman, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen, Kevin Garnett, Bobby Jones. He better than any of those.
I can't believe you put Bobby Jones in there.
I remember Bobby Jones.
All right.
Okay, let's go guards. Is he better than Michael Jordan, Garrett Payton, Kobe Bryant, Sidney Moncrief, Michael Cooper, Bruce Bowen, Alvin Robertson, or Tony Allen? So which one of those guys, Draymond Green, is better than? That's 19 guys.
You got 19 now?
That's 19. Okay. And I left off Mr. Russell. I left off Havlicek. I left off Clyde Frazier. And he says he's the greatest all time? Man, Draymond on Flocka. He ain't even smoking that good stuff out here. He on Flocker. He crazy.
He has to guard the whole other team. That is the difference when Draymond.
If you lie to yourself enough, you'll start to believe
He
it.
did that. He's the great. He's got the greatest media circus behind him, back up, and Terry's eat it.
He does it on purpose. He does it on purpose because he knows even if they call him an idiot, he's getting pressed.
All right, Zach. They're talking about this stuff. Like, so here's my argument. My thought, real quick, on the LeBron and Steph stuff in LeBron's era. When they talk about this stuff, can you name a single person that won more championship or as many while Jordan was playing?
No.
Did anybody else win 6? Did anybody else win 3 while Jordan was playing? He had 2 3-peats while Jordan was playing. Did anyone else win 3 championships? Celtics only got 2 in that time, right, Terry?
Yeah.
85 and was it 88?
We only got 2.
Or 86 and 88. He started in 85.
So Pistons got 2.
He started in 85. Pistons had 88, 89.
Yeah.
So how many Celtics win between 85 and 87? 85, 86, and 87, Terry? No, or 88, yeah. Well, it don't. Either way,
They would have probably won at least 2.
Think. But what I'm saying is that, so you look at LeBron and Steph's got 4. He's got 4. If Steph beats you, and he's the main reason you don't have more than 4, right? Is Steph Curry not the reason LeBron don't have 6 championships right now? And the guy in your era, and you're the 6th, and your argument against a lot of people against Michael, he's bigger and faster, stronger. But the guy kicking your butt is the little bitty 6'3" guy. How's the greatest player ever, Tom, got less championships than the guy in his era? In his era, he's got less championships than the guy head up with him. So when they say that Steph can't beat, what if Steph ends up with like 7 championships in LeBron's era, and LeBron sits here with 4?
And Steph beat him head to head like 3-1.
What are they talking about here? Like Steph he's so far up there right now. He starts getting 5-6 championships. Like, I don't know. Is he?
Does he crack the top 10?
My problem with those lists is that how do you do the centers? It's so hard to do the centers.
Oh, it's hard, very hard.
So you have to almost do it without the centers if you do it. And a lot of people, as far as publicity goes, a lot of people's gonna have Shaq way higher than I'll ever put him. And anybody who saw him, I'll go through the list of he got swept 6 times in the playoffs. How do you say the word most dominant person ever who was swept 6 times? We got Ostertag, you got Luke Longley sweeping him. Like, he's getting swept by everybody. Akeem swept him in the finals. I would take Akeem Olajuwon over him in a heartbeat. So when they make those lists, nobody ever says Akeem over Shaq. But I don't see why. I don't understand how not. So as far as the centers goes, that's an argument over. You got errors, but the guards and stuff. How would you not have? Would Steph not be in front of him if he beats him? Not let's say he's got to win the championship, not just beating him in this series. Terry, what do you think on that? How can you be ranked above someone who won more championships than you while you were playing? This ain't like a different era.
Everybody's going to look at LeBron and say his total work. They're not going to look at how many times he lost and how many times he's won. They're just going to say his total work from what LeBron is doing now as the athlete that he is now compared to when he first started. And, we don't know what Seth's going to do, how many more he's going to win, how many more LeBron can win.
Mm-hmm.
It might happen again this year for one or the other, which I hope not. I hope Boston wins. But I always sit back. I don't even think LeBron can be compared to anybody with 6 losses. I look at that all the time. That's to me, that faces out more to me than anything.
Terry, LeBron fans say that's a plus.
That he got there?
LeBron sit there, I swear to God, they will argue to the day they die that Michael didn't make it as many times, and that's more important. They're saying that he is 6 and 15, and LeBron is 10 and 20. 10 and 20. They'll make the argument he made the finals.
And they also say that LeBron had help, and that ain't true either.
It is again, that means if you lost 6 times right in the finals, that means if your team was in the West, would you have made the finals? No. So you would have only made 4, and you'd have won your 4. So
because
you
it
wouldn't have
used to
made
be
10
where
finals
the East was worse than anybody.
Oh, when he played in that time, the East was god awful.
But the getting smoked by Dallas and Jason Terry and them and JJ Barrera, like, no, that's not on Michael's resume. That's not on Steph's resume.
Hey, definitely on Kobe's.
I don't even want to talk about the Kobe Shaq thing. They were so good to help each other that they both needed each other. Like for Shaq, like you said, he didn't win a championship until all the centers retired. Patrick Ewing, Robinson, they're all gone. He wins 3 championships. Every one of them, he doesn't win until they're all gone.
Well, the problem that bothers
and then that was
me
with Kobe. Then Kobe won with Gasol and Bynum. Go ahead.
If you take this series that they're in right now, when Anthony Davis come to play in Game 1, they won.
Mm-hmm.
When Anthony Davis didn't come to play in Game 2,
they got destroyed.
They got destroyed. It's all simple, and I even said that before the series ever started. It's all depends on what Anthony Davis wants to do, the whole series. Because if he comes to play, the Lakers have a chance. If he's not there, I don't care what LeBron does. He could have 40 points every game, but it's not about him. It's about what Anthony Davis does.
You got to have at least 2. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you got to have at least 2 dominant. But I think that I'm going to be right, and all of you are going to be wrong. I think the one that I stand the biggest chance of being wrong is the Philadelphia series.
Well, I told you was wrong last week about
We're not
that.
out of it yet, though. We're not out of it yet. It did bother me, Terry. I'll be honest with you. How well Horford's playing, which is bothering me. It's like, why are they getting all these points out of Horford? And then when I was listening to the highlights, I was like, all right, Horford. The 76ers do. Wait a minute, he's playing for Boston again. So yeah, I mean, because Horford's gone.
Well,
back
the
between
thing
them.
you thinking about in that series is how dominant Harden was in Game 1 when he knew, hey, I can do whatever.
Tatum had a bad game in 2.
Yeah,
Tatum had a
well,
bad game in 2.
The thing I think about it now is Harden. His last 2 games since Embiid's come back have been terrible. He's like 5 out of 28 from the floor.
Yeah, when Embiid scores 30 and you get beat, that would concern me. Like when I saw that they got beat, I said, let me look up Embiid because I wasn't able to watch the game. 30 points. It's like he scored 30 and you
17
lost.
17 rebounds, I think.
That's not
I'm going to tell you what bothers me with them is when Boston makes a switch on defense, and guess who's guarding Embiid? Smart. Now, if we had that in Charlotte, you know what Embiid's doing. I'm wiring him. Smart don't take that. And I'm like, of all people, your most hustle man in the NBA is guarding the biggest guy, your MVP,
away from the
and
basket.
stopping him.
Away from the basket.
Yeah.
Guarding him away from the basket.
But daring him to even try to even come, to the basket.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean, because he is away from the basket a lot.
He is a lot.
So, I mean, you can guard him with a smaller guy away from the basket. You can get away with that. But I remember when Charlotte, when I would watch the game, they tried to they cleared it out and tried to have PJ Washington go one-on-one on the lane. That's not going to work. I'm just going to tell you, that's not going to work. But I may be wrong on that one. I think I'm going to be right on this Lakers series. I know that Kevin's talking about Steph Curry getting 7 championships. I just don't think that's going to happen for him. I still like Denver in that series. I know that you guys liked Phoenix, but I like the Joker.
Anymore. They're
yeah.
I think you got a chance
their
there,
depth
Tom.
is, if I can't name more than 3 people on your team, I don't feel good about your championship hopes. But
yeah,
a lot of looking at these teams, like, and we talked about this coming in to the playoffs, and with all the upset, it's kind of happened that there is no dominant 3-player team right now. Every team's got 2 guys, and then a lot of question marks.
I wonder if like Maxey could be that third person for Philadelphia, because he can go out there, so every once in a while, yeah.
Golden State's got 2, LA's got 2, everybody's got 2 guys except for the Knicks. I have no idea how they're here, except because y'all choke like
because they play Cleveland, who just and as soon as they lose the series, Donovan Mitchell's leaving. I was like,
why would he leave? All right,
it's ridiculous. Go ahead, Kevin.
The top 4 all-time NBA playoff points per game. Give me a guess without looking. Tom, we'll start with you.
NBA playoffs per game?
Average points per game, playoff history.
Number 1?
I got 4 people on the graphic, so just name me one of the 4.
Michael Jordan.
All right, Terry.
Kobe Bryant.
No.
Oh. I saw it, so I will stay out of that conversation on that one.
All right, Tom, one more guess.
Is there like a minimum amount of games
just one
played?
More guess. No. NBA highest career playoff average all time. And I'll show you the
highest
graphic.
Career. Let me go with it. Let me go with a dark horse. Clyde Drexler.
Nope. Terry.
No.
My Lord.
Only 2.
Bill Russell.
Nope. Only 2. Bill Russell. You just ask the stupidest. And not say Wilt. The only 2 players in NBA history. Only 1 player in NBA history has averaged 30 points a game, Zach. Michael Jordan. Well, Wilt Chamberlain. They both averaged 30. Jordan's right above him. Only two players in NBA history have averaged 30 points in the playoffs. Michael Jordan and Luka Doncic.
Wow.
Luka is number 2 all time at 32.5. Allen Iverson 29.7, and Kevin Durant at 29.4. You're the 4 guys in NBA history at 29 points or more all time.
That's good. Now I want to see their percentage.
Their win percentage?
Their shooting percentage.
Oh.
If I'm 12 out of 31, I don't think.
Well,
I
you
can
know
do it.
Durant's got to be plus 50%.
I don't care how many points I scored. 39.
Durant's the best shooter of all of them.
Yeah.
You know
Iverson's probably the worst of all of them.
You got Durant there.
Terry, he's by far the
Imagine
best shooter.
12 out of 31.
Imagine if old Allen Iverson practiced. Imagine that.
Yeah.
He's that good and he never even practiced.
Neither does Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, some people, all you got to do is show up.
Some people, Tom,
they're good.
You're right. All right, when we come back, we got to talk NASCAR, finish that up, and more here on KTC. I'm going to, for the folks at home, we'll be back in a minute. KTC Broadcasting.
I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join myself along with Captain Ron and the Boss this Saturday, May 6th, for the big grand opening of the new location of CSI Mechanical, your train dealer. Now located at 410 South Post Road in Shelby, right behind Classic Ford. We'll be there broadcasting live from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll have free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, there will be door prizes too, including a new Train XR heat pump system, a residential Bosch tankless water heater, an Everpure water purification system, or 5 free preventive maintenance contracts. Plus, we'll have prizes, including a $50 gas card, free DVD and Redbox movies, free food certificates, free rounds of golf at Deerbrook, free Hickory Crawdad baseball tickets, free T-shirts, and more. Don't miss it this Saturday, May 6th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the new location of CSI Mechanical, now with a new location at 410 South Post Road in Shelby. Your train dealer. Remember, it's hard to stop a train.
JR's Pro Rodeo stampedes into the Cleveland County Fairgrounds Friday and Saturday, May 5th and 6th. Bad boys. A full-blown rodeo. Even kids mutton busting. Presented by Nissan of Shelby and Carolina Cat. Adults just $20. Kids 11 and under just $10. Kids 2 and under free. JR's Rodeo at the Cleveland County Fairgrounds with free parking and a covered grandstand. JR's Rodeo. It's Friday and Saturday, May 5th and 6th at the Cleveland County Fairgrounds.
You want to see explosive?
Don't miss JR's Pro Rodeo stampeding into the Cleveland County Fairgrounds. It's Friday and Saturday, May 5th and 6th. A full-blown rodeo. Even kids mutton busting. Adults just $20.
Worth every penny of the price of admission.
And join us for a pre-rodeo event at Nissan of Shelby Saturday, May 6th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. with free hot dogs, hamburgers, and JR, plus cowboys, cowgirls, and rodeo clowns. JR's Rodeo Stampede, Friday and Saturday, May 5th and 6th.
Yeehaw!
They've gotten some great items in this week at This and That Trading Post in Dallas. Just sit back and take a listen. Mini fans with lights for $11.25. Solar Rock Pathway lights are just $6.25. All shoe polish just $1 each. Outdoor Wi-Fi yardsticks are $8.25. This and That Trading Post has spa spinning brush head shower heads by Flawless for $15 each. Fish multiple purpose lighters are $4. Metal fly swats are 75 cents each, and a container of dishwashing pods are $2.75. At This and That Trading Post, 3857 Dallas High Shoals Road in Dallas. Like them on Facebook too. Hey folks, before you head out, head on into Bruner's Automotive in downtown Cherryville, where you get honest repairs with the job done right the first time. And right now they're offering a spring oil change special for $59.95. Get your oil changed, tires rotated, and brakes checked, all for $59.95 for most vehicles. Plus have your AC checked out too. They do it all at Bruner's Automotive, 319 East Main Street, downtown Cherryville. Call 704-923-7612. Online at BrunerAutomotive.com and like them on Facebook too.
Beat the heat with these great specials from Rye Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now, pay 0% interest to make no payments for 12 months. And after the 12-month no-interest period, your interest rate is only 9.99% over 60 months. And Rye has extended their New Year promotion for maintenance and repairs. Get a free second opinion diagnostic with 10% off new equipment. And as always, they offer a 10% military discount. But hurry, offers expire May 31st. That's Rye Heating and Air. Call 980-342-9845. Online at ryeheatingandair-nc.com. Fatback's Tire and Auto in Dallas is now All Ray Tire Center of Dallas. All Ray Tire has just purchased Fatbacks, and they invite you in for the best, and we said the best, tire deals in this area. They do it all, from an oil change to a tune-up to all types of engine repair to brake work too. And they're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturday. Again, Fatbacks is now All Ray Tire of Dallas, located at 814 Lower Dallas Highway in Dallas. Also with locations in Cherryville, Shelby, Forest City, and Morganton. Serving their community since 1975.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. The guys are talking some NASCAR, if I remember correctly.
It's NASCAR, yes, sir. Dover results last week. In Martin Truex with a win, Chastain second, Blaney third, Byron fourth, Hamlin fifth. Kansas schedule this weekend on KTC broadcast. We'll have 2 o'clock tomorrow. Listen here on 92.9 Xfinity Race tonight at 7:30. Here's a quick motorsport fact. This is lead changes in 2022, comparing the each motorsport series. NASCAR average at all tracks is 19 lead changes, IndyCar 9, F1 3. At road courses, NASCAR averages 9 lead changes a race, IndyCar 6, and F1 3. Total at tracks, all total lead changes in a year, F1 has 70. IndyCar 154, NASCAR 703 lead changes at all the tracks on the year. So there's you some notes that people might not have thought, or when comparing the two series, how much more competitive NASCAR is. And I always thought it was, just because of the banging and the pushing. Like, if you can't push nobody or touch nobody around you, Terry, it's hard to
it is
hard to get around them in corners and other things, and you know,
and the F1
you get loose and
tough,
bump into people. So there's some quick. I thought y'all would like that. Terry, I don't, as far as Kansas goes, I don't think it's on one of my video games. I don't know too much about this track in general, and that's a lot where I know about just basically from driving how it is. It's a 1.5 mile track, and it will be. So is this the first 1.5 miles of the year? Have we had one yet? It doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like the turns are as banked as some of the others. It's like it's more slick. Terry,
we've had Daytona,
if you show some professionalism, we'd appreciate
Auto Club, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Atlanta, Circuit of the Americas, Richmond, Bristol, Martinsville, Talladega. We've had 1.5 miles this year, Terry? It's kind of, Vegas is 1.5 miles, or 1.5 miles, isn't it? And Auto Club, I think
Vegas is,
but the rest of them haven't. So we're back to that. Let me look at real quick in Vegas and Auto Club and see who won those. William Byron and Kyle Busch won the Auto Club. Of course, Kyle's 2 of his 3 last wins were the parting of the Red Seas, where everybody wrecks in front of him. Next week, Darlington Raceway. I'm going to give you guys the next 5 minutes to call JP. Tell him your name and phone number to register to win for Darlington tickets. Next week, we've got Truck, Xfinity, and NASCAR Cup races. Call JP. You got 5 minutes. 704-435-2845. 704-435-2845. Give JP your name and phone number to register to win for Darlington race tickets today. 704-435-2845. All right, real quick. I didn't have too much on the NASCAR that I want to talk about today. I wanted to get over real quick before we get out of here. Friday, which was yesterday, I took the kids out to the Wells Fargo tournament. I wanted to share some of the highlights from that. I got some videos for you folks out there in internet land. See if I can make this work, Tom. Make this real big for you folks. So this is over at 16, chipping out of the sand. I didn't know. I only saw 1 or 2 guys that we knew. So there's a lot of these guys. I don't know any of the guys that kind of went past us here. But the best place to me is down. If you're going over today or tomorrow, go down to 16. This is the 16 green. You're standing right behind you is the 17th tee box, and if you'll look to your right, it is the 17th green is a par 3 over the water, and you can see right there in that video, back over that way. I think that's like the maybe 10th green back there, so you can see a lot of action in this area right here. Pull up the pictures of the kids. This is the ride in to the park with Belle. That was her first bus ride. I didn't know that, Terry. She said, this is the first time I've ever on bus. I was okay. So you park at Carowinds, and it's about a 15, 20-minute ride from there. There's 3 other locations you can park at, but that's one of the ones if you're on this side of the city to just go straight over there and park. It's cheaper to park online, buy your tickets. I think it's like $12. It's $20 in person if you show up for that. Let's see. More from the bus ride. And there we are in front of the Quail Hollow Cup. If you look real close, Tiger Woods' name is right there behind Belle's head. So I made sure we got Tiger's name. There's the first tee where they let the folks walk through after they hit, and got a picture of that. And then I do got some more action here. So if you go out there, it was really nice. The weather, this is a great week. I've been out there when it's hot and it was bad. That's just not fun. Raining is obviously not fun, but I went to the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. It was a lot of dirt. This is clean, pristine. Like you can lay on the grass, take a nap. I mean, we had a picnic out there. There's folks pushing baby carriages and stuff. This is us crossing the 18th fairway while they're putting on the green. Putting green over here. They got 2 of those you can stand at and watch. This is the 17th green I was just telling you about, the par 3 over the water. Now, what you can do here, all that the seating up there is all obviously paid for. Everybody else, the grounds, you can walk up or there behind it. It's going to be packed, I would say, today and tomorrow. It's going to be tough to get up in there. There is a spot you can sneak up behind. It's not an island green, it's a peninsula, but there on the far left behind the green is the TV tower. But on the back side of it, Terry, they got a guard sitting there to make sure you don't mess with the TV. But you can kind of sit there next to the duck pond. You can almost put your feet in the water and watch them putt from like 25 feet away where no one else would be sitting. It's kind of like a little secret spot we sat for a minute. This is Adam Scott, who is one shot back now. We did see him play 2 holes, and we saw him birdie 18 right there. He started on the back, so that's him walking by just after he birdied 18. What I've noticed, that green is huge, and these greens are big greens, and so kind of once you get on, one guy hit it, and we all kind of laughed and were like, man, he's gonna hate
20
that.
yards away.
Oh, it was I've got video. One of these videos. I hope I posted it, but while I was talking in it, because I was going to post it later, that this may be the longest putt in PGA Tour history if he hits it. Like he wanted to hit the bunker, and he was mad that it was so far up on the other side of the green. This is a guy measuring the green speed, Terry, with a machine, and I'm like, what is he doing right here? And he puts tees in the ground, and then he was rolling balls in the green from here to read the speed. I'm like, wouldn't it be easier just to tap it with your putter that you're going to be actually putting with? Putting from the 18th green. Here's a tee off shot. Zach, if you'll hit audio real quick, maybe we can hear him. Taking forever. Barely even swung and hit it farther than I could swing as hard as I could. He just crushed that. That one's probably about 330 there as far as he hit that one. This is the 17th green shot. This is what I was talking about. Beautiful shot 17th tee box, par 3 over the water. And the flag man's job there, if it's hit at the green, Tom, what do? You wave straight.
I did not know that.
And if he hits it right over towards the people, he's got to wave right so the people know to cover your
I
head.
I was unaware of that.
So if you go to the golf tournament and you're on a hole, watch backwards for the flag guys. They'll tell you if there's a ball in flight, and you'll know. And here's the kids walking by the pros, and so this is the 17th tee. You can pretty much walk up with the pros up to the green beside them. So they wanted to walk beside them and pretend they were like on TV here, Terry. So here we are at the U.S. Open. Hastings walking up the tee to the green behind Adam Scott. And there's one of the guys chipping. I didn't get the guy that I didn't post it yet, but yeah, the guy that was a long putt.
Check out the mullet.
17. A lot of mullets out there. I will say this, Tom, for anybody going out there, it is not an inexpensive journey. I will say that.
Nothing's cheap.
Price gouging goes around in all places. That one was one of the worst that I would see. I would highly advise eating before you went there, folks. If you're leaving from Cherville and local area, stop by our local McDonald's that sponsor us every Saturday. Thanks for listening. Saturday Sports Talk, everybody. KDC Broadcast. See you next week. KDCBroadcasting.com.